going to give you a quick demo of our CTN Network website, ctnnetwork.net. Join our community. It is free. You just type in ctnnetwork.net, and this is the homepage right here. And if you want to create an account, you would just click up here and create new account right here. Sign up with your email, or you can sign up with just clicking on Facebook or Google. So you can sign up with your Facebook account or your Gmail. So I'm already signed up, so I'm going to click in Gmail right here, and it's going to log me in. And as you can see, this is our homepage. Click on creators right here, and this shows you all the CTN family members that are content creators. Everybody is on here. If you want to go to one of their YouTube channels, for example, if you want to go to Crypto Talk Now, just click on channel, and it takes you right over to the YouTube channel for that particular creator. And you click on community. This is our community right here. We do have a forum, and this is a forum where you can post things, you can interact with one another. And there's also a blog right over here that we post our own content on. And if you click on CTN Studios, you can watch our live show and other content creators' live shows right through this CTN Studios. We do have advertisements for some of the content creators. There's the Crypto Smith, there's Waddy, the Crypto Hunter, and we also have live charts for the ISOs right in this box right here. We have a feature where you click on the heart if you want to donate to us. You can donate with Ethereum or Binance, BNB. And also, if you click on this button right here, we're going to have a call-in feature, which is already live. If you want to call us, just click on the green icon, the green phone icon, and click on call now. And during the show, between 9:15 and 10, when we announce it, when Max is on or when I'm on with Max, we will start accepting phone calls, and you guys can be live with the show. If you want to turn your video on, you can come on camera as well. So good stuff there. Now back onto the homepage. If you click on members, you can see all the people that are members here. All these people here, like Chaka just signed up, Gills33, Miguel. All these people here are members of our community. So you guys can sign up, and then you can chat with one another. So you can either click over here, message right here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to welcome him. I'll send him a quick message, and then I can click enter or just a little arrow. If you want to message somebody else, you can click on message, or you can go right over here into members chat and go ahead and message them and create a new chat if you want by clicking this little button right here. Now also, if you scroll down here, you can see some of the past videos that our content creators in our content creator family have created. You can go in here and watch some of the recorded videos. They're scrolling down here. Just choose one to watch. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this brief demo. Make sure you sign up so you can interact and be part of the community when we are not on the live show.
Scratch!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Talk Now, Utility Talk Now. Glad to be here with you guys tonight. I actually added myself to the intro while it was going on. I was like, oh, crap. Anyway, guys, we had a whole lineup of news for you tonight. I may get into some of that. It just depends. I don't want to make this a 4-hour long show, but just spontaneously speaking, out of nowhere, I said to myself, and I messaged Sean, and I said, wow, we got to totally do a whole new show because of some news that dropped, I guess, apparently yesterday, to bring a different perspective. Some people may look at this as being FUD. Some people may look at this as just being objective. Wherever the case be, we do need to hear the other side of the story, if you will. We'll get into that in a moment. But one thing I want to mention is I want to welcome everybody here. Before we do so, of course, got to welcome Sean, the Crypto Smith. How you doing tonight, Sean?
I'm actually, I'm very good. Thank you. Great to be here. Nice to see everybody in the chats, and hopefully everybody's having a good Monday evening or whatever time it is, wherever you live. But yeah,
yes,
good to be here.
We're glad to have you. I'm going to start off with welcoming a few people. And let's start off with the one and only Queen Perseverance, a.k.a. Sonia, a.k.a. Mrs. Waddy. Or is it the other way around? Anyway, glad to have you here tonight, Queen Perseverance. She says, I'm here. Hey, Max, glad to have you. Really cool. Great show you did the other night with Daniel Gayton. Shout out to him as well. KK's in the house. He says, please have your Jasmine tickets ready for the ride. Please keep your hands inside of the rocket. Yes, I love that one. I will state this. I went ahead over the weekend and I added to my Jasmine bag, and I didn't just add to it. I doubled my position.
Whoa, man, yep. You're going in hard.
Yeah. So that's the way I look at it. And I may continuously do that. Every month, not double my position every month, but I'm looking at these price levels. I mean, come on, 0.005 in the number. But yeah, thank you for that, KK. I want to welcome Coochie Boy. Of course, he's saying hello to the Queen. Thanks for being here, Coochie Boy. Queen Perseverance is also saying, make sure to hit that like button. Excuse me. Thank you so much, Queen Perseverance. Sobo, I got some news for you. This is what I was going to mention. I was kind of drawing a blank. So shout out to Sobo. I'm going to talk just real quick before I kick it more into the comments. So I got this message from Sobo, and I actually, I'm going to share this. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a DM, but if anything, I want to, give a plug for his site real quick. Shout out to Larry and the team for, putting this together. So here's her site. And, just like you see right here, if you want to watch somebody like, Sean the Crypto Smith, you simply go over to creators, and then it will give you that plug to go check out his site and so on. But remember, we're mentioning the whole thing of the members chat, right? So I got a DM from Sobo. It was about yesterday. It says, Max, you might want to check out Crypto Beweather's YouTube today. That was yesterday. In regards to ISO 222 compliant crypto bank reset lie revealed. What? FUD? Is that what that's going on? It worries him, worries other creators. Sure, worry all of us, right? We'll get into that. That is the main topic for tonight. Anyway, I just want to show that people can definitely send me DMs and I answer them. All right. So shout out to Sobo. And I did, of course, reply that I thought, I'll take a deeper dive into that. Won't necessarily be tonight. Guess what? It is tonight. So we're going to talk specifically about this because you know what? It needs to be addressed. So just thought I'd mention that. I want to welcome a few more people who are in the house. If Waddy happens to be here, I want to welcome Waddy. You guys are saying hello to him and so on. Waddy will find you. Shh, stop. He doesn't know where I am. Brian Dowie says, sup to the Queen. Good to see you, Mr. Brian Dowie. Smash that like, everybody. If you haven't done so already, just kind of helps get this out to more and more people. I'm telling you guys flat out, if somebody never watched your show ever, this is the one you want to tune in for. So when we start this particular outline or whatever you want to call it tonight, I'm telling you flat out, you guys are going to want to watch from beginning to end on this particular, where you want to call this, Sean? What are we going to call this tonight?
This is a good, I'm going to call it a good FUD video. I mean, it's not FUD. It's just other information that we haven't seen or some of us haven't seen before. So, well, it's very interesting.
I mean, FUD at the end of the day is fear, uncertainty, doubt. But
And it does
yeah.
create some of that.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of FUD, but I saw this and I was like, you know what? This is just going to spread like wildfire if it doesn't get addressed. And how about this? When we are all done commenting, all of us, right? We're going to be really interactive with the comments. We're going to listen to what, Sean's take on it, mine, all that. My thing is this. I hope to God some of the power players, right? Verson, Crypto Lulu, some of these guys come out of the, I should say the woodwork, but have an answer to address some. I would love to hear their perspective. And I we're going to keep the thing going here in a bit. I know we're kind of keeping, a little hyped up in regards to it, but Sobo already knows what we're talking about. Some crazy stuff. But yes, good to see Brian Dowie, Queen, Sobo. We're going to go further down. I'm going to welcome a few more people. And let's see, I'm going to welcome GS, who's in the house. Thanks for being here, GS. A lot of talk about the Queen waxing her cars. Very interesting. No, that was not Larry. That was, the pre-show, as Tim Shea would say. Speaking of Tim Shea.
I think Queen was waxing Waddy.
Oh, gosh. Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, we got to see that video next.
Well, you know what? It's married couples should help each other out. So anyway, Tim Shea says, hey, because that's his slogan. The commissioner of crypto, the mayor of crypto is in the house. Good to see you, Tim. And going further down, always want to welcome Mr. Selmo Fudd. Good to see you, Selmo. Thanks for being here, Selmo. Just gonna see if we have any specific questions or comments. Nah, that was just a pre-show, like Tim Shea was saying. Hello, is it Menelek you're looking for? Lionel Richie. Menelek is in the house. No, he's not Lionel Richie, but it's something that Larry used to say in the past. We're almost about 15 minutes into the show. We will get into the actual show here in a bit. Just welcome a few more people, such as Big Dave. Blackwood's in the house. Thanks for being here, guys. Really do appreciate it. Smash that like button if you haven't done so. I want to read this real quick from Menelek. He says he picked up Jasmine this weekend, same as me. And may buy a few more. Right on. Very, very cool. I'm glad to see it. I just feel as though, it's not quite the bottom of the bottom, but man, it is darn near close to it, right? So it's very attractive at these particular prices. Brian's showing you some love, Sean.
What's up, Brian Dowie? How you guys doing tonight? It's good to see everybody, really, honestly. It seemed like a really slow weekend for me. So it's nice to get back up on the horse and
heck yeah, man. Welcome
back into crypto.
Menelek says FUD is the origin story of profit-losing investors. Very good point. All right, Coochie Boy, it's hard to fist on a sell, so that's my excuse. Hello, notice. Hey, Coochie Boy, it's fine. You know what? It is because when you're when you're typing on it's a lot easier just to type some of these comments, if you will, on a laptop or computer and so on. I don't even know the shortcut for it, but a lot of times I'll go to other shows, right? Whether it's Waddy's or Daniel Gatons, and everyone's giving each other the fist, right? So I actually have to type in the word fist just to pull up the emoji for it. I know it doesn't sound kind of backwards, but all right. So
and you don't want to just leave it fist, right? The word there, that doesn't look very good.
Yeah, hey, fist everyone. Why would I want to fist everyone? Then you got to get the DJ guys coming out. Yeah, Max is going to fist everyone.
That could go south very, very quickly.
Yes, it could be. Yes. Anyway, and some people are like, shout out to Mass Debater. He'd be like, Max, I knew you would finally come around. And it's like, no, it's not like that.
Welcome to the dark side.
Yes. All right, let's read this, and then we'll kick it into what we're going to outline tonight. Mr. Lambos, Crypto Talk. Welcome, by the way, Mr. Lambos. He states, what do you guys think is going to happen tomorrow in regards to market's reaction to whatever Powell has to say? Well, the old man coming out of the cave. Sean, go ahead.
So he's just going to be, obviously, this isn't about interest rate hikes yet. He's going to do that at the end of the month. He's addressing Congress, right? And basically just kind of, it's the state of the state, as far as monetary policy goes. So he's going to give whatever information he's going to give, but he knows what he says, changes markets. So he has to be extremely careful about what words he uses in monetary policy, how things are going, how he kind of sees the future, of interest rates and inflation and all that kind of stuff. So I think he's going to tiptoe around a lot like he usually does. And he needs to, because he's responsible for people either making or losing money. So it's I'm sure it's a hard line to walk when you're in his position, and he shouldn't be. What's funny is that you would think nobody should have that kind of power where they just say words and everybody freaks out and sells everything, or everybody starts panic buying stuff. So it's a crazy world we live in. But like I said, I think he's going to keep it kind of even keel as much as he can, not really tip the hand as to what's going to happen here in the next couple months.
Yeah. I don't know if this is a typo. Maybe he meant fisting talk now. I don't know, fishing talk. What do you think he means?
I don't know. Fishing talk sounds interesting. Although I'm not I don't fish, so
all right,
that'd be a tough talk.
All right. I'm glad everybody's laughing. I want to tell you guys the cool thing that happened to me right before I came to the show. So I just wanted to get a quick snack or whatever, and was in the McDonald's drive-thru, and I was gonna get something for my dad, myself, and so on, just real quick. And the lady says, "You don't owe nothing." And I go, "Huh?" She says, "No, the lady in front of you, she paid it forward." I was like, "No kidding." I was like, "Well, thank you." And I was like waving at the person, honk at the person, and she was just like, "Yeah, no problem. God bless you." And I was like, "That's awesome." And ironically, a year ago, like in June, so last year, my buddy was visiting, and we were in the Dairy Queen drive-thru at, like, I don't know, 10:30 at night or whatever. I think he got like a banana split, and then I got like a milkshake or something like that, and my girlfriend got whatever. And the car in front of us decided to pay it forward, and I was just like, "This is 2 years in a row," and never in my life I ever had that happen. So anyway,
that is funny, because I did have that happen about a month ago. The first time somebody's done that to me, it was at McDonald's for some reason, and I was there by myself, and I had my cash out, ready to pay. As soon as I got to the window, they're like, "No, you're good." I'm like, What do you mean I'm good?" She's like, no, the car in front of you already paid for it. The lady who was taking the money assumed that I knew the person in front of me. And I'm like, "What do you mean they paid for me? I don't understand what you're talking about." So yeah, that was an odd feeling, but they just drove off. I tried to wave, but they didn't have any interest in the taking credit for it. So, which was fine. They did their thing and moved on. So it was cool. So I gave them the cash I had. I said, "Well, pay this to the whoever's behind me." So that's I just kept it going.
Yeah, that's super cool. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I'm also going to welcome Boomer Effing Sooner, who's in the house. You got to say it like that. You can't just say, "Oh, welcome Boomer.
Welcome Boomer Effing Sooner."
Yeah. God. No, it's going to be Boomer Effing Sooner. All right. So I'm going to highlight that. Let's kick it into this. We're going to play roughly about, I don't know, about 5 to 7 minutes of it and so on. Probably about 5. We'll comment on it. We'll hear from you guys. We need to know what you all think about this. I'm going to state beforehand, this does not change my thoughts on, like, I'm not going to go out and dump my XRP and all these other ones. No freaking way. But if anything, it might solidify a little bit more what Sean was talking about, where he made a statement of, it's not just going to be Ripple moving all the money, like there's Ethereum and so on. It might solidify that particular argument. Before we start this, Sean, do you want to inject something real quick?
Yeah. So I want to say, if you're crypto squeamish, you might want to look away. Okay. I don't know if you can handle, the kind of information that's about to get dropped on you. So it can be a little jarring.
And guys, this is the main topic for tonight. And no, we're not trying to create FUD or anything like that, but we do need to be objective. We need to realize the other side of the story and so on. If anything, I mean, look at the backgrounds we had. If you came from meme coins and then did the jump to this, and then to not be objective of anything, I mean, again, we do what? DYOR, do your own research. So this is part of that. This is not focused on FUD. If anything, I might go out and buy more of this stuff after watching this.
Yeah, no, it's fine. What's good about this is that there is so much information out there about a lot of things that we're never going to know, right? And then you can go out and seek out things and research and find videos and more information, but you're never going to know everything. So this type of information is always good to hear. Yes, even if you don't agree with it, it doesn't matter. It's you got to hear it.
Yep. So I fast forward it just, after this is only like 11 seconds after he welcomes everybody. We're going to be in and out on this. this is saying goes 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out, give or take. It might be 5, 7 minutes or something. But this will be the main focus. And depending on the length of the show, I might be able to get into some of the other things. If I don't, we'll bring it to you guys tomorrow, or I might, chop it up and put in some recorded, where the case be. It's going to be a good show. Let's go ahead and get right into that. And again, welcome to anybody who's just joining us. Boy, what a time. What a whopper of a Lulu to, bring you guys. Here it is. We have shared this gentleman's his particular tweets, some of his snippets from YouTube, Twitter, and so on. It's Crypto Bellwether. I honestly think he's a good content creator. I think he doesn't have no ill will. He is clearly not a yes man or a guy who's just 100% rah. Anyway, his topic was released yesterday. It's called ISO 222 compliant crypto bank reset. Lie revealed. XRP, HBAR, XDC, Algo, Quant, XLM, and a few the other top 100. Some key areas, just real quick. Listen to what he says in regards to Quant. If anything, that's definitely helps pound home a little bit more of what we've been talking about for months for Quant. So here it goes. 5 minutes in. Let's get it into it right now.
Well, before you stack another dollar in an ISO 222 compliant token or XRP or XLM or any of those projects that we all know and love, you need to watch this video, because guys, we have been lied to, and about 90% of the information that's been spread around in the crypto and XRP community about the banking reset and all that, it's BS. And you don't have to believe me. Just believe the information that's factual, that's presented to you. If you watch this video and you come to a different conclusion based on facts, I highly recommend you call me out on it. But I also want to recommend that if you realize that people have been lying to you, call them out. And if they're influencers, I'll be glad to bring them on my show and let them justify their misinformation. Or if they can prove me wrong, I'll be glad to go defend my knowledge on their show. Now, let's get into it. Now, this all started this morning when I was watching a video by Crypto Eerie. Shout out to her. She does great research. I love her channel. Now, just so you know, I watched that video at 7:15 this morning having my coffee. It's about 4:15 in the afternoon. I've been down the rabbit hole all day. And I'm going to share the information that you need to know about the reality of the banking reset, the reality of what Ripple can or can't do in the banking world, the reality of how the ISO 222 compliant tokens work. We're going to dive into all that, and I'm going to walk you through the process straight from the source. You don't have to believe me, just believe the factual information from the source, or at least that's what I do. So let's get into it. Now, what you're looking at on the screen is basically, and I'm going to break this down as simple as possible. Basically, the whole reason behind SWIFT and the whole way it's set up is so that all the currencies around the world can go back and forth, and that's how the banking structure has been set up, the payment structures, and you have tokens all around the world. You have like the Japanese yen, the Mexican peso, the Canadian dollar, the US dollar, and they all have to be interoperable, and they have done that primarily through the SWIFT banking system over the years. Well, along comes crypto, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, we have a currency. We have 20,000 tokens, 20,000 currencies. Well, that definitely has created a response that we have to have a new banking system. That can't be denied. There is a banking reset. Now, that reset is not overnight. It's going to go on and take many years to put it together and launch it. But it is a real thing. But now we're adding different currencies. And you can't really compare the Swiss franc to, say, XLM or Ethereum. It's not the same thing, but they can all process money and go through the banking system, or they will be. So this morning, her video, she talked about how Dogecoin is ISO compliant. FTX, or the not FTX, Phantom, Polygon, Stratus, Wax, Moon River, all these tokens, they're ISO 222 compliant. Now, I'm going to leave a link down below if you want to go and verify this information from the DTIF.org. And that is the Digital Token Information Foundation. I think that's what it stands for. So go verify all this. But I'm going to explain to you exactly what ISO 222 compliant tokens.
We're just going to pause it there for just a brief moment. I want to welcome Jose and a few other of you guys who just joined and so on. We're going to continue this just for a couple more minutes, and then we'll do some commentary. I just want to give you guys an update, especially for those of you guys who are just connecting. We're talking about the hot topic of ISO 222 compliant crypto. As you can see right here, this comes straight from crypto. Excuse me a second. Was it Be Weather, stating that he feels as though a lot of us have been lied to. But in reality, it's his opinion. He does try to bring some quote unquote facts to be, objective of this. But again, I just want to update a few people who were just connecting. This is the main topic of tonight, and it does affect the whole grocery list of everything you see from ISOs, even some from the QFS and so on. We're going to play this for about maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, and then we'll come back for more of a discussion and also hear your thoughts in regards to this topic. Thanks for joining us tonight. Please smash that like button if you haven't done so already, and let's jump back into this.
Now, you may have heard, because it went around the Twitterverse and through the social media platforms, that I think she was the CTO of Algorand. She said, I don't know what they're talking about being an ISO 222 compliant token. Well, I didn't understand that she didn't understand, and a lot of people kind of just blew that off, including myself. And I apologize for the misinformation that I've passed on, but we're going to fix that today. Now, one guy on this Reddit thread basically said that there is no such thing as ISO compliant. Well, that's kind of misinformation as well. There is no accrediting body. Well, there is SWIFT. Either you're a part of them and you're ISO compliant or you're not. But it says instead, either the message itself is constructed in a way what is ISO 222 compliant or not. Well, that is true. So here's the deal, guys. To go through first of all, the ISO 222 messaging system is basically what they call the entire structure. And that's what's going to be rolled out this month. And it's going to take like 2 years to implement. But when someone says ISO 222 compliant token, that just means that they have set up a token identifier that is compliant with what SWIFT wants. And so it is not actually a thing that you have to be involved in the banking sector.
All right, let's pause on that. That was a little bit more extended, about 6 or 7 minutes. Sean, I got to hear what you have to, say in regards to this. We'll kick it into Menelek after that and so on. But wow, what a Lulu of Whopper dropped yesterday from Crypto Be Weather, or I'm not even pronouncing that right. Excuse me.
Crypto Bellwether. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's, for the most part, I agree. And I think I've agreed with this, fairly consistently. Right. And ISO the ISO 222, right? I mean, ISO is a standard, so and it's recognized internationally by all sorts of different industries, right? Crypto is just one of hundreds of industries that use ISO standards. Obviously, they're all different numbers, but having an ISO compliant, token doesn't make it particularly special. It just really means that it can be used. Going for the 222 version, it can be used for payments, across banks or things like that. So it doesn't necessarily make it, super special. It just means that it can be used for payments in this situation. And so I do agree with him on that. But the other, I know we're going to hear more because I've watched the video. So
Right,
I'll
so
wait to give more commentary on that. So it's I don't know that. I mean, I don't know if I guess I'll have to go back and look to see if Crypto Lulu and some other people are saying that XRP is going to take over Swift, because that's certainly not what I've said. Because it's I mean, there's just no information there for me to actually say that. I can guess it, right? I can hope that it does, because that's going to help my bag. But I've never really seen any information where it says, and I think I've actually actively said that Ripple's not going to take over Swift. Swift's not going anywhere. Swift's still going to be there. So we'll hear more of what this guy has to say and make some comments after that.
How about this? I mean, not only that, I mean, it's not that it's a complete replacement. And some people say this in the past. I mean, people are just completely new to the whole thing of ISOs, and that is that Swift is going to be completely replaced, like as if all these people are losing their jobs and so on, and there's this whole new thing. That could be furthermore from the truth, because if anything, it's an upgrade, if you will, to go towards the new technology. But Swift is still going to be around, but they're implementing newer technologies instead of the traditional MT standard. I want to read this real quick from Menelect. It's a great statement. There are no ISO compliant tokens per se. There are ISO compliant companies and protocols, and coins partnered with them are called ISO compliant. I mean, great way of looking at it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's to say that they comply with a certain standard, right, of messaging that has to be done in order to work on the world stage, right? All of the banks, all of the financial institutions, they all need to have the same messaging standard so that they understand what's happening. And obviously it's faster, more efficient. But yeah, it's just different data fields of, how, the date and how much money is being sent, where it's coming from, the wallet addresses, all that kind of stuff, all has to be in there in a certain order and in a certain way. Obviously, that's the standard for everybody to work together.
Yeah, totally. Mr. Lambo's, of course, asking someone. He said number 3 behind Bitcoin, Ethereum. Mr. Selma Fudge saying, yeah, exactly. I mean, back to what Selma was stating earlier. If you missed it, he's confident that XRP can reach number 3 in ranking during the reset process, 2 to 4 years. And that's the way I personally feel about it as well. And I get it. This is just one content creator bringing his own perspective. If anything, I kind of welcome it, because, I think we need to always hold all of us accountable when it comes to trying to get our facts straight, right? Because at the end of the day, why aren't we? If we're doing our own research, we do need to hear the other side of, hey, you know what? There's these other technologies out there that didn't make, mainstream or, crypto Twitter news, if you will.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the good part yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't. So guys, I mean,
more to come.
It is a whopper of the night. I think, if anything, our audience is appreciating the content that's being brought to them. I'm glad that we actually decided to flip the script, no pun intended, to this particular topic. Shout out to Sobo, guys.
Yeah, well done.
Sobo.
Well done.
Thank you very much. And that's what we love about our community. Bring it, whether it's the raw stuff that nobody wants to talk about, or the ones that everybody wants to talk about. At the end of the day, we do need to take more of a deeper dive into this, because this is our hard-earned money. We need to know what's going to happen with it from another point of view. All right, so I'm going to get further down. River, if I didn't welcome you, I was waving on camera to you. River, Blackwood, and also Lazy Jedi. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. Appreciate you. We were just, of course, playing some of this. Magic Powers in the house. He says, Guten Tag, Liechtenstein Exchange in Jasmine in the house. Yes, thank you very much for being here, Magic Power. I'm going to read this as well. Menelect with the great intellect of comments tonight, as usual. He says, XRP's use case is tokenization, and to a lesser extent, bridging and acting as a value store for Nostro Vostro account. Thank you for stating that, because if anything, I think only Crypto Lulu, maybe Verson mentions it a few times and so on. Not enough is said about the whole thing of Nostro Vostro. Your thoughts in regards to that? I mean, are we off base? I don't think we are.
No, I don't think so. I mean, obviously, well, the entire reason for this reset, or one of the reasons, is to eliminate these Nostro and Vostro accounts, right? And these are basically piles of cash that are just sitting dormant at banks all over the world in different currencies, so that they can transact in these currencies. Somebody wants to send, $100 American to Mexico, right? There has to be American dollars sitting in that bank account, right? And this is an agreement that they have. They've had for decades. So it ties up a literal ton, of money that can be used for other things. Obviously, at some point, we know in the future that they're going to get rid of that cash because everything's going to be digital. There's not going to be any reason for it. I know. Looks like what country? Shoot, I just read. Was it Switzerland? One of the countries over there, like they say, their cash usage right now is 8%. 8% of transactions in their country are cash. So it's very, very little. So they're getting ready to kind of pull the plug on paper money in their country. But yeah, that's a big thing. These Nostro Vostro accounts are a huge problem for the financial industry, and they love to get rid of those. And whether it's crypto that gets rid of it or the Swift, the new Swift system will end up getting rid of that.
If anything, it gives another, layer of utility to the likes of Ripple's XRP and so on. Yeah. All right, let's go further down. We got Menelek, who says he read that Ripple and Swift are already partnered.
They are already partnered. But now and we talk about, and I've talked about this on my videos, that just because like Ripple has partnerships and sits on advisory boards of CBDCs in other countries, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to use XRP, right? It's just they're one of the world leaders in the new financial system, getting the digital payments out there, that they are hired to sit on these boards and kind of advise all these different entities out there. But like I said, it doesn't mean they're going to use XRP. It just means they're being farmed out to help these places.
Very true statement. I like this one too. Shout out to Kuchu Boy. Has anyone looked up the requirements for a token to become ISO 222 compliant? To be honest, I haven't. But that is a great statement. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the past. Think about, I know it's apples and oranges, but think about, a while back, we had a few meme focused projects who wanted to list on a centralized exchange like crypto.com, and there's requirements to being on there. You have to have a certain amount of volume. Your market cap has to be, I believe, at a certain type of level before you even be considered. You get slapped with a big fee, all those types of things. So if we're looking into those particular things, why aren't we looking more into those particular requirements? So we might have to revisit that. Have you seen some of the
it's really nothing big. But you have to think not all tokens or not all companies or not, they don't need to be ISO 222 compliant.
Right. You mentioned that like a Polygon, I think a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it depends on how it's going to be used. If they're not going to be used kind of in conjunction with payments, right, then there's no reason for them to be ISO 222 compliant. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Right. But it is a good question because, I mean, you do want to see what the prerequisites are. Tim Shea states, what have we heard that is so bad? We're going to get in. It's just part of the outline for tonight's.
Just you wait.
Yeah, it's going to get juicy. Well, hurry up. I'm tired of waiting. Caroline's in the background. No, I'm kidding. Ryan Joes, if you guys don't smash that but I will buy all the LCX. Man, that's a lot to buy. Tim Shea, Sean, do you know if my Corium is in my Decent wallet? Will it qualify for the airdrops? Man, only you can answer that because I'm not into Corium.
So I do believe, I forget when the snapshot's taken, but I believe Decent Wallet does qualify for these airdrops for Corium. I don't, I'm not really up on all the airdrops because I don't really care about airdrops. To me, they're, it's free money. People are just going to sell, and it ends up wrecking charts. So doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, I do believe it does qualify for airdrops.
I'll read one more because I know he wants me doing this voice because he always mentions it in the recorded. If I'm not mistaken, Ryan Jones, listen to this, guys. For all the people that have given me criticism saying, "Oh, you do that Liechtenstein voice too many times," Ryan Jones, I'm pretty sure, said on the original video way back for a particular LCX video I did, that he subscribed because I do that Liechtenstein voice. So just for you, my friend, if you guys don't smash the like button, I'm going to buy all the LCX Liechtenstein. There you go. Thank you very much.
Very
all
good.
Right. Yes. All right. So let's go ahead and highlight that. We're going to get back into this outline. Got to get to the juicy stuff. Otherwise, why talk about it, right? So I'm going to present this again from where we left off. Here we go. And we'll come back in about roughly 5 minutes or so. Here we go.
You have to have it to go through the Swift messaging system. So if you want to process, for instance, Dogecoin, that coin has to have a token identifier. That's it. And if you don't have that identifier, you're not going to be able to process through the Swift platform. Now, here's the big information that people have been very, very misinformed about, including myself, because I have made videos with this exact diagram. Well, I don't know who made it, but they're an absolute idiot. And this is so misinformed, it's not even funny. I'm actually embarrassed to tell you what I'm about to tell you. Guys, this is so much misinformation. This is not the Swift, the banking infrastructure whatsoever. It may or may have some of those infrastructure protocols as part of it, and a lot of them will be indirectly, but it is so far off the beaten trail, it's not even funny. Now, before I dive into the next segment, I just want to make it clear, and because people are going to want to argue the fact, but this article right here from Finance Feeds talks about Roxy and Ripple rivalry. Well, this is a couple of years ago. There was a contest, and some of the blockchain protocols from around the world were trying to develop CBDCs and different payment structures and all that. Well, Ripple and Roxy made it to the finals, but there were, R3 was there. And I need you to remember this. ECS Fin was there, Global Money Express, iPay, all these corporations and blockchains from around the world were involved. And it was to basically showcase to Swift and the rest of the world what you were capable of. Now, that chart right there, here's the real one. And I'm not kidding you guys. This is from Swift, as you see on the screen. And it says 2 vendor self-attestation completed and compatibility certification in process. 8 vendors set to self-attestations completed. 17 vendors in process to complete compatibility. All right, guys. When that banking reset starts, those payments are not going to be running through all those blockchains on that old infrastructure map that was just a lie. XRP, XLM, Quant, Link, none of them have to be involved whatsoever. ever. Now, some of them are going to be on the outskirts, and they're all going to do well, guys. But I want you to understand what I'm about to share with you, because, you know, there's so much misinformation. Oh, Ripple is going to process all the banking. Ripple's going to overthrow the SWIFT banking system. Guys, that's such a lie. It's not even funny. And I've said from the start, from doing my research, and you've probably heard it here before, that the legacy banking system is only going to use anyone that's outside of that, or any protocol, any blockchain, or any technology that it has to use, that it can't compete or duplicate. And I've proved that over time. That is really why the SEC went after Ripple. In my opinion, well, that's one of the many. It was to slow Ripple down, to give the legacy banking system and the banks like JP Morgan time to get their blockchain, their processes in order. And it's getting close. And once that's over, then we may see an end to the SEC court case. I don't think we'll see an end until they have their dominance back in place, which, guys, good luck fighting the smart money, the global powers, because you've probably heard me say from day one, I've said this 1,000 times on my channel. I used to work for Bear Stearns. I've been behind the scenes. The governments, primarily the U.S. government, the central banks, and Wall Street pick winners and losers, period, to the best of their ability. Well, here's the chart you're looking on the screen. Once the process, the banking reset starts, I'm only going to go through the top two. Remember what I said was a Ripple rivalry was in the same contest with them? ECS.
If you're just tuning in, this is the hot, juicy stuff. So make sure that if you weren't paying attention earlier, now is definitely the time. Tune in wherever you got to do. Don't get distracted. Listen to this. Here we go.
Fin. The other one is Montetrain. Well, what do? Because, guys, it's blockchain and it's technology, it's computer systems. But look at this, Montrain. The first thing you see on their website, instant real-time payments. They have a liquidity pool. And if you go through their website, guys, again, don't believe me. Go do your research. Quit listening to these people that are flat out idiots that have never, ever researched the competition or the legacy banking systems. I'm here to tell you, Montetrain and this company right here, Montetrain and what's the other one? Hold on. Montetrain and ECS Fin are the primary blockchain corporations that are going to dominate and control the SWIFT banking system. And the majority of all the processing has nothing to do with Ripple, XRP, XLM, or a lot of the blockchains. Now, in both of these companies, when I did the research, there was articles indirectly alluding to Link and Quant and HBAR. Because here's the deal, guys, from what I can tell, feel free to prove me wrong with some facts. But when you go through these two websites and see what they're all about, look what this says. Enterprise Message Hub, Enterprise Payment Hub, Trade Processing Platform, Treasury Workstation, SWIFT Services, Data Governance. And it's on the roadmap of SWIFT.
All right, let's pause it there for just a brief moment. I know you want to inject your thoughts on that. Go for it.
So, I mean, there's a couple of things here. Now, I like the fact that this is information that I didn't know, right? And so, sure, I'm sure there's a lot of websites I have not gone out and gone through every single page. So that's good for me to know, right? There's information out there that I don't know. I need to go learn it. But I told you, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but that chart that he was referring to, this is where I'm going to disagree with him. That chart had nothing to do with Swift, so I don't know kind of where that came in or where he got that from.
Smash the like button for Sean. I mean, yes, absolutely. I agree with
so that,
you 100%.
I mean, it's just a chart that kind of shows how all of these different tokens are going to be intertwined and be used with one another and all that. So, so didn't agree with that. And the idiots out there, are generally people like me and you who are just giving information based on the kind of stuff that you learn. So, and we don't know everything, and I'm sure that I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. But I have a video of somebody at Swift or somebody who works for Swift mentioning that Ripple and XRP could be used in the Swift network. So, so I don't know if everything that he's saying. He's saying like XRP is never going to be used on the Swift network. I don't know that that's accurate. I don't know that he knows, whether that's going to happen, right? Even him with all of his research, he's still guessing, right? At the end of the day, at how this really is all going to play out. But I do agree. Here's what I agree with. Legacy banking system is not going to allow somebody outside to take over, right? They're too big. They're too powerful. I've said this before, just like the IMF and the WEF, they're not going to allow some crypto, like Ripple or XRP to take over, right? A private company to take over. They have to control whatever the monetary system is going to be. And if they don't control it, then it's not going to be used. So all of these tokens that we hope are going to do really well and be used in this future payment system are going to have or give up some sort of control over to these big entities. And I think that's where the smart money is betting on the legacy financial system. They're not going to give up. They're not just going to roll over and be like, okay, I guess we're done now. You get crypto, go ahead and take over. So that's what I have to say. It's good information. I don't particularly care for the way he presented it, but the information is definitely worth checking out. And then I also added, I need to find out how can I invest in those two companies that are at the top.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm with you 100%.
How do I get a piece of that one? Yeah.
We got more comms to get through. Guys, thank you so much for having, tuned in whatever time you did from beginning, midpoint, whatever the case be. Thank you for that. I really, really appreciate it. We really, really appreciate it. I want to talk a little bit more in regards to what Sean was basically mentioning, and of course, what you saw from that particular content creator who is specifically Crypto Bellwether. Yeah, I'm pronouncing that right. I'm going to present this real quick, and we'll jump back into all of it. I want to show you guys this, because remember when you mentioned the whole thing with Quant, I feel as though I got to mention something in regards to Quant. So this was all the way back in March 28th of 2022. Again, I mentioned it on the recorded. They do it with the live. A lot of times you got to take a blast to the past to have an idea of some of these statements that are being made like today, right? So it says, if you build it, they will come. This comes officially from the Quant website. So it's not like it's just some third party. So it says, once a DLT network is established, creating a new payment instrument is something that any system participant can do easily. We've seen that. Banks, institutions, and enterprises can swiftly, no pun intended, deploy highly secure smart contracts that function as programmable money to be quickly accessed and processed by specific predetermined parties. The result is like a faster, more efficient BACS infrastructure, but with one key difference: the network only needs to be built once. Participants could continue to innovate and create new services and payment types on it for years to come without relying on networks, rails, or services such as Swift, Visa, or faster payments to centralize or aggregate transactions. And that's my thing. I'm not going to go out and just dump all this stuff. I understand that he made some good praise for Quant and HBAR and so on, but that's where it is for me. I understand that we got to be objective of all of this and understand, the competitors. I don't know how many times I put out Quant videos, and there's, a few people from the comments. Are there any real Quant competitors that we know of? I didn't know of any. That's why I didn't report on it. Now, if there is, we'll let you guys know in regards to that. We're going to jump into the comments here for a bit, but I just want to mention some of this in relation to our particular research outline for this hot topic of is ISO 222 a lie or not. I'm going to jump back into that right now. Let's see here. We got Menelek, who stated real-time payments is not unique. Real-time settlement is the goal. Kind of like a reiteration of what I just basically shared on the quant page, right? The only way to have real-time settlement is to have a neutral bridge asset approved by the central banks. Very, very true. Brian Dowie states, not saying this guy's wrong, but Ripple has so many partnerships. That's where I'm at, Brian, without 100% in regards to that. Too many partnerships, too many things going on just to dismiss it, right? And I'm with you, Sean. You said it in the past, and that is, it's not that Ripple's moving all of it, but there's other players, right? Cyphereum, hence why that was one I bought, I think last weekend or Friday or something like that. I got into Cyphereum, very proud of doing so. I feel that's another great one to be in. Not financial advice, but I am now with the whole understanding that it's not just going to be Ripple. However, I will state this: I still feel as though, and maybe we can disagree on this. It's fine, Sean, but I still feel as though that Ripple will move most of the money despite some of this FUD that we see. Take it as you want.
I mean, it's okay to be wrong, right? And that's what we're learning today. It's okay to be wrong.
And it's okay to be an idiot, apparently.
Anyway. Yeah, no problem. It's so yeah, look, it's hard to know at the end of the day how much, any one of these tokens that we're invested in is going to be participating in this new system, right? And some of it, they're not really participating in the actual moving of money, but on some ancillary, the side of it, right? Like quant, they're not necessarily moving money, right? They're facilitating, basically partnerships with APIs, so all these different systems can talk to each other. But yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, I hope XRP moves a ton of money and Ripple is involved in all of that. But Ripple has stated themselves that just because they're working with, I think the latest number is 20 different CBDCs right now, Ripple is actively working with, doesn't mean XRP is going to be the vehicle that's used. So and they've stated that. So they're not going out in line.
Of course, they're not going to state it, Sean. They're not going to state it, my friend, because of what? Think about it.
Why? Why wouldn't they?
NDAs. That's where I'm with it. It's got to be NDAs. They're not going to come out and say. They're not going to let everybody know. Yeah, this is what's going on. My thing is, with all the heat that they're already taking with the stupid, SEC.
Yeah.
There's got to be some kind of, they're holding the cards, if you will. Right? You're not going to let everybody know everything you're doing. The guys who are behind the scenes with you know what you're doing, right? You got to have some kind of a pullback, or holding some of it back, right?
Well, I don't. To me, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not that kind of person. But why would they actively say that? They don't have to say anything. They could say, "Hey, we're working with CBDCs. 20 different central banks out there." They don't have to add the part that just because we're working with them doesn't necessarily mean that XRP is going to be, whatever they use, right? And they may choose, Ripple may work with some of these CBDCs and they may go a completely different direction, right? They may go with another project. They, something else. Maybe Cyphereum is trying to compete, against them. I have no idea, what's happening out there. But and then that brings in the question, and this, I'm going to have to do more research on this. I'd love to do a video on how is it if we're going to, right? If we have this massive reset, and money is all different and everything's digital, right? Some point in the future, how are we going to have all these different central banks using different digital currencies, right? You would think they would all use the same to make everything uniform, but we don't know. So maybe somebody uses XLM and 20 of them use XRP and 15 use Cyphereum. How is that all going to work? To me, that's a good question that I need to answer.
Well, that is a good question. My main thing is, I think at the end of the day, and I always say at the end of the day, but it's true, there's a lot of players that are at this big show that's going to be happening here soon, apparently, between March 22nd and November 2025. Yeah, there's going to be certain players that might be taken most of the volume, whether it's Ripple and so on. I'm just even that much more glad that I'm more diversified, not just into like one specific one, whether it's Ripple's XRP, but a few of these. And I think for the most part, a lot of people can agree to that, that further solidifies the debate to be more diversified. Don't have all your eggs in one basket, as the saying goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Coochie Boy states, and this is regards to the whole thing. We've seen what's going on with the whole Shinja thing, which is too bad. But states the Shinja hype guys were always hilarious. They would come in at the end of the AMAs and preach how good of a job the team was, the token was. Yeah. Larry, I hope you're feeling better. He says smash that like button. Thanks for being here, Larry. Jesse Thomas is in the house with the 1969. I believe Oldsmobile Cutlass, unless he stated that was something else. I believe that's what it is. So what does this all mean? What are we investing in is not actually going to be used? What we are investing is not actually going to be used.
And that's not I mean, he's saying that if you believe that Ripple and XRP was going to replace Swift and was going to be moving all of the money, then yeah, that's what this guy is saying. He's saying that's not what's happening. There are other companies out there that do have instant payment capabilities, real-time settlement, but he said they have a liquidity pool also, and I'm going to have to go investigate that because this is a private company. So I mean, so now you're telling me that these guys have hundreds of billions of dollars in liquidity just sitting there ready to go? That to me doesn't sound legit. So I'm going to have to go and do a little research on that. So, and part of why Ripple would work so well and XRP would work so well is because of that massive liquidity that they could have or they will have once utility starts and the token price moves. There's going to be hundreds of billions of dollars that's going to be needed in order to move that kind of money. So,
well, knowing that it's taking Nostra. How about this? Taking Nostra Vostra out of the equation completely. That in itself is a huge utility layer for Ripple's XRP. I mean, without even talking about all the other things they're into, healthcare, what they're doing with real estate, and just some of the other things, right? That in itself is pretty big.
Yeah, and they're saying, and I know, and I don't know if we got to the part of the video where he says, all these big players out there, they like distributive ledger technology, and they like the blockchain technology. They like all that stuff. The banks do. They don't like the crypto asset that goes with it. Right? They don't like the token because the token's not necessary for these things to work.
We haven't got to that part yet. We're going to get to that part. Sean is right. Yeah, he's going to. This guy. Crypto.
And that makes total sense to me.
Yeah. No, it's a valid point. But I don't want people to think that he reiterates towards the end. This is not some spoiler. That he's not going to dump his whole position with some of these and so on. But
this guy owns XRP. He owns XLM. He owns Quan. He owns all that stuff, and he's he's definitely not dumping his bags because they're going to be used. He's just saying in this one particular instance, which happens to be a very, very big instance, with Swift,
right?
That he's saying that XRP is not going to be used.
Yeah, how we always give a plug. I hope to God this guy understand or somebody recognizes we're giving him a nice plug, if you will, for his particular channel. I'm gonna take a brief moment to pause and just show you guys our plug, and that basically is the CTN website. Guys, soon I'm just giving you a flat out response to all this, and that is once we get some kinks worked out and so on, like we're going to try to get our forum launched the right way. A lot of articles I'm going to be posting there on the CTN website, and you guys can as well. But yeah, check it out. Let's give a plug to Sean, the Crypto Smith. So if you're at the CTN website, even if you're not signed up, we prefer that you sign up. And here's another reason why you do need to sign up to participate in Wednesday's game, which is the day after tomorrow. You do need to be signed up on the website because you need to be able to communicate with your team in the members chat, because we don't want it to be on the global chat here, because let's face it, it would be a way of cheating or it just kind of messes with the flow. So once you're assigned to a team, you definitely want to just communicate through the members chat, like you see right here. It's just a nice DM function. But yeah, you can sign up either through email. It's all free. You could do, if you want to do the lazy route, you could do like Gmail, Facebook, and so on. But all you would do is you go over to the CTN Network website, which is ctnnetwork.net, click on creators. And what's going to happen is you're going to see people you're familiar with, like 2-Bit, Bleeze, Chaka. Shout out to Chaka to see in the comments. But yeah, there's the Crypto Smith, and then you can just simply click on this. Will take you to his particular channel, and here it is. And he's at 1.64. Congrats on taking up again. And yeah, give Sean, our co-host here on Mondays and a member of our community, a subscription, right? A follow.
It doesn't cost much. I mean, it costs very little, right? You just have to look at my face. There's a little bit of a cost there, but that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you guys have it. Give him a subscription. What am I saying? Gonna kick it more back into the comments just for a brief bit. And let's see here. Yeah, we had up to, I think, about 62, maybe 63 at one point. That was pretty cool. Brian Dowie's asking XRP Larry, how's Caroline? Wow. Actually, this is kind of funny. It's Brian Dowie says, how's Caroline? And then right after that, it's moist. I read that. Oh my God.
That's not what it says.
Wow.
That's your head. That's what you wanted it to say, but that's
not. You're right. DJ and crypto moment. Oh God. That's horrible. Shame on me. Wow. All right. My bad. And my bad to you. It's MOI. Oh my God. I messed up the whole thing. Oh geez. That's horrible. Never mind. Back to
Max. Yeah. Max thought he had a zinger right there. He's like, oh man, this is going to match up perfectly. And everything got wrecked.
It did.
Yep.
It got wrecked like my Clifford Inu V1. Anyway, geez, that was horrible. Yeah, sorry, Larry. I know you wanted it family friendly. I just ruined that whole moment. Anyway, Metalex states he can create a chart like the new Swift chart he showed in 30 minutes that can fool 90% of crypto holders. Yeah, a lot of things could happen.
But what's the motivation for that, right? Why would this person? I don't know the guy. I just subscribed to his channel today because I want to check out more of his videos. But why would he, do that? And I think maybe he was that particular chart. I think he was just mistaken, and maybe somebody who mentioned Swift threw up the chart, on a post, maybe a Twitter feed or something. But I think he was just mistaken because that chart literally has nothing to do with Swift.
I just checked the bottom comments and.
You shouldn't have done that.
I shouldn't have done that. Too bad Michael Cornwell's not here right now because he could have enjoyed all the bloopers of tonight. But anyway, Tim Shea states, Larry, heard you had to buy a new couch. Carolina is wild. All right, we'll just leave it at that. Dimes with the FDR avatar says, sup, late night talk show fan fire. Well, thanks for being here, Dimes. Appreciate you.
Good to see you, Dimes.
Drop a sub to Mr. Crypto Smith if you enjoy, utility-driven talk and crypto coverage. He covers Corium, Cypherium, XRP, XLM. Of course, he covers some other ones. Go ahead and elaborate on that.
That's pretty much it right at this point. I've got a Jasmine video going to be coming out, and then MMAI, of course. I'm sponsored by them. And what else is there? I know there's more I want to do, but I just haven't got to it. I really want to do a Codius and PolySign video at some point.
Very cool. All right. Exactly. Well, what I was talking about. Never mind. All right. So let's see here. That's a conversation between you guys. That's fine. It's Moy. I corrected myself this time. How do we invest in those companies? Remember, Sean was saying that earlier. We got to find out, right?
Yeah.
We got to totally. I'm bullish on it already.
I looked up a little bit of it, and it looks like they're private companies. I don't think they're public. So,
God, if they were,
yeah. Hopefully, they're going to want to go public someday. I'm put them on my watch list.
Yeah. Sobo states, Sobo basically the star of the audience tonight. Many charts appear to have quant as the hub it all runs through, and he says no. I don't know if he says no. I think he mentioned that.
No, he's pretty. He seemed like he was
quant.
pretty bullish on quant.
Yeah, and H bar and so on. So.
And H bar, yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay, Subo. Respect to you. All right, Brian Dowie. Tim Caroline told me she loved Larry's bidet and casting couch. Jeez, oh boy. Brian, she does like to keep it clean. You know what? I love you guys, man. I really do. You guys always have a great time in the comments. And we love you guys for that. So
it's nice. There's always a good, separate, completely different side story going on, right? In the comments these guys have. It's always funny to watch.
It's something else. You know, we could be talking about a real serious conversation, and Tim Shea in the background could be, you know, kicking back with a brewski with Brian Dowie, be like, "You listen here, Mr. Peanut Butter Parfait, you know, Caroline's on Larry's casting couch." You're like, what? Where'd that come from? Anyway. Yeah. I don't know where I busted out with that peanut butter parfait joke, but that's beyond the point. This whole thing, never mind. That's a bad thing too. Tim Shea, Brian, she does like, oh boy, read that. All right. So in regards to FUD, not Selmo FUD, props to Selmo FUD. Menelec states, expect more FUD, misinformation, and 3D chess to shake out retail as launch date approaches. Very true. I think you said that a little bit further up too, but that's all right. Keep reiterating because it's true, Menelec. Dime says mass adoption will arrive when big Web 2 brands such as McDonald's, who I'm having their version of a Frappuccino anyway, and Microsoft, Sony filed a crypto blockchain trademark in Q4 2022. Huh. All right. Oh no, it's him.
Yuck.
Oh, God.
Gare Bear Gensler. Old Goldman Gary.
Why don't you go hang out with Mr. Powell, you know, and just, I guess they are. They're gonna probably
I'm sure they probably do hang out.
Yeah.
Backyard barbecues, you know, the whole nine.
Yeah. Special invite to Mr. Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on a serious note, whoever you really are, thanks for being here. We do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I love your ad. It's hilarious, but that's fine. Jesse Thomas, who's the guy in the video? I want to watch the full vid. Yeah, we'll get right back into it. His name is, I almost said the Crypto Smith. No, that is definitely not it. Crypto Bellwether is his name. He has 8,380 subs. We do share some of his content. He doesn't just do FUD. I mean, he has some pretty good videos. He talks about XLM, XRP, obviously, and some of the other ones. Dime says PS6 will feature Wallet Connect, aka NFT Connect. You know what? I want to state this. I'm not ready to do a video on it yet. I want to get more of the juicy, nitty-gritty news for you guys. I'm going to have to check out with Zippy. Shout out to him. Great Jasmine content creator. Brings great Twitter spaces. There's something going around. I don't know if you've seen it, Sean, in regards to this whole thing of the talk about the PS6, PlayStation 6, and a possible Jasmine connection in the future. That in itself could be huge, right? Now, I get it. We need to do more of our own research, but if any of that comes to a hint of, partial fruition, not full fruition, partial.
Well, you just have to ask yourself, so the PS6 is Sony, right?
Yeah.
And who created Jasmine?
The guys from Sony.
Exactly. So it wouldn't be surprising to me.
Yeah. But that right there, the feature to connect an NFT and then the Jasmine background and
Sony
also
filed to file a blockchain or to come up with a blockchain. So they're definitely got their feet in the water. Oh
yeah, totally. I want to also mention this. I saw a comment, and it was during the time thing when it was just Larry on. I wasn't here. Maybe I was trying to, I was listening in when I was trying to pick up my dad from the hospital last week and so on. But somebody brought up the whole thing of, I don't understand why Jasmine is referred to as the Bitcoin of Japan. I have the answer for it. Do you actually know about it? I'm not trying to one up you or anything.
I don't, and actually, because I actually disagree with that statement that it's the Bitcoin of Japan.
It's not the Bitcoin of Japan.
Yeah, it's good because it doesn't have its own blockchain, right? It runs on Ethereum.
Yeah, but
so it's a token. I don't. And it's not really a store of value. It's a project.
Well, I take it that way because I mean, it gets more people to watch it, but it's a little bit of clickbait, but not in a bad way. I mean, the reason why they call it the Bitcoin in Japan is because in Japan there's not very many cryptos anyway, and it's kind of like the original crypto, kind of like Bitcoin was our original first cryptocurrency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I
that's
get
where
that.
they get the term Bitcoin in Japan. So I just want to throw that out because I've seen a lot of people coming up with like different theories in regards to it. I will admit that wasn't something original from me. I saw another content creator who covers Jasmine. He went into detail about it. And I thought, you know what, that does make sense. And yeah, that's the whole thing, is because they don't have many cryptos. And that was like, you know, one of the first. So hence Bitcoin in Japan. So there you go.
Yeah. I mean, it does make sense to me, but I don't agree with it. To me, it's not the Bitcoin in Japan.
Yeah. But it's going to get tagged that way, whether we like it or not. All right.
Yeah.
Gary Gensler with yeah.
You get him, Brian. You get him.
Yeah. HIV carrier, no Vaseline in the M16. Never mind. Let's go further down. It's Moy, not with the last part. Launch date for what? Menelect. Oh, okay. This is towards Menelect. Menelect states Ripple spent years getting agreements in place and has hundreds of, like we were talking about earlier, NDAs, and the XRPL is the only ledger being used in mass by BRICS countries. Yes, God, I love it when Menelek comes with comments because I mean he brings it. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's good info. That is good info.
Yeah, I mean, how about this? All right, so if you've been following it, and I'm sure you have, Sean. So you know you got to follow like what some of these BRICS nations are doing, right? Especially Russia, China, and so on. When you hear the stories of, you know, originally Russia was like anti-crypto, and then all of a sudden they're adopting crypto or adopting certain blockchains behind the scenes, and they're stacking gold and all these crazy things. And then you hear about some of these stories about, for instance, you know, not just the NDAs, but like, look at this comment, reiterate again. XRPL is the only ledger being used in mass, as in mass adoption by BRICS countries. Why would, I'm not giving any praise to Putin because can't stand the guy. I think he's a horrible person, but there's something to be said about that. Why would some of these sinister villains of the world want to waste their time if there was nothing there? Right? They wouldn't.
Well, I mean, obviously, everybody's going to hate crypto and until it directly benefits them, right? And then they're going to love it, right?
Yeah.
So and they can say that they hate crypto while they're working on, you know, their crypto project at the same time. You know, like JP Morgan, you know, Jamie Dimon gets up there and says he hates, you know, crypto's a scam, Bitcoin's a scam, everything's a scam. He owns an absolute boatload of Ethereum. And then, you know, says he's going to fire anybody that works for him that he finds out that they own crypto. So all the while he is stockpiling Ethereum.
That's exactly my whole point.
Yeah.
I was talking about this a while ago. It's just like, you know, when you understand more of you know, some of the technologies that they're bought into, and it's just like, I'm scratching my head. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like was it quorum, right? And not Corium, but quorum. Sometimes I roll that off the tongue and people think, oh, you're talking about Corium. No, I'm not. But it's like, okay, you're into quorum. You got this whole thing going on. Technically, that's blockchain technology. And then you come on the public record. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, I'm just shaking my head.
They're smart about it. They know if they talk enough crap about it and keep people out of it, the prices stay low. They can continue to build, you know, their bag of whatever it is they're looking for cheap, right? And they'll be able to. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens. You know, he who owns the most gold makes the rules.
Jeez,
and they're going to try to get as much as they can.
And that's been going on since the beginning of time, or you know, since we, you know, traded gold and precious metals. All right. Yeah. Mr. Gensler states, I have a TV interview this week. More pain to come. Liquidity crunch looming. Stay tuned. Oh God, please no. Just like what's his name, Steve Carroll from The Office. No, please no. God, no. You know.
Yes.
Brian Dowie, Menelek, totally agree. So many NDAs, and that's where it's at, guys. I mean, you know, even to this guy, with all due respect to him, if he happened to, you know, even be watching right now, which I doubt it, but if he was, I would say, with all due respect to you, sir, NDAs. And that's where it's at. I mean, you know, we said this towards the beginning of the show. All right, there's a lot of comments to get into. We're going to kick it back into our outline. Let's go ahead and do so. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content tonight. And if anything, give praise to a member of a community, Mr. Sobo, a fellow teacher like myself. Thank you so much, Sobo. It was not planned. I had a whole outline for tonight and literally messaged, was it 20 minutes or half an hour before the show, something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're flipping it tonight, man. There's some juicy stuff that came out. So yeah, anyway, let's get back into that. Gonna share that here in just a bit. Here we go. And here's where we left off. So we're at about the 14.5 minute mark and so on. Let's go ahead and play it. Here we go.
Well, that's how everything's going to process. Now, going to and from, because guys, there's going to be many different cross-border payments, CBDCs, platforms. There might be thousands. Who knows? Ripple will get their share. Ripple will have CDBCs. So will XLM. So will, you know, half the blockchains out there. Well, that interoperability is where the ISO 222 compliant tokens that we think of, like HBAR and Quant and XRP and Link, are all going to have their share in that part of the network. That interoperability is what's going to make them do well. I'm not going to go dump my tokens. I'm still positive on them, but I want to be very, very clear that any token can easily become an ISO 222 compliant token. And the compliance is, the name 222 is basically just an umbrella of the messaging system and the ISO platform. Now, I was under, and this, I did give misinformation, but I had two different developers explain it to me. When Swift announced that they had a key partnership with Chainlink, a developer said, look, Ray, anything that goes through that gateway becomes ISO compliant. Well, that's true as far as information data, maybe, but it's not true if it's a token like XRP or Dogecoin or whatever. If Dogecoin gets to that gateway, it has to have its identifier token number to be processed, whether it goes through the Link network or Link gateway or not. That's the way it works, guys. And hopefully I explained that all correctly. But I'm here to tell you guys, if you do your homework, we have been lied to. Call out everyone. Share this video. Have anyone that is telling you the misinformation, have them watch this video. Have them come on my channel. Tell them they're full of it. And I said so, and I've just proved it. Check this out, guys. We're always looking for, you know, which blockchain gets the next CDBC. I do it every day. When I hear anything, I want to see what blockchain are they using. Well, check this out. Montrain and eCurrency announces the very first CBDC solution fully integrated with the central bank's RTGS solution for central bank currency management. Guys, that came out last year, the middle of last year. They're not using XRP.
Give me just a second. I do want to answer this real quick, and we'll kick it right back into it. This is a good question. I was to the understanding that XRP is the only one with on-demand liquidity, and then Brian follows it up with XLM2, correct? Can you answer that real quick?
I don't think XLM has on-demand liquidity as a service. Ripple definitely does, and I do believe it's the only one like that. That's just one component of what they offer as a company.
Yeah.
They offer many different products. So, and ODL is just one.
All right, thanks for answering that. We're going to kick it right back into this particular video. Thanks for joining us tonight. Great turnout tonight, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you're just connecting, please smash the like. It definitely helps with the algorithm. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Let's kick it back into this particular outline with Mr. Crypto.
Bellwether.
Yes. Jeez, I'm having a presidential moment. God, I shouldn't say that. So anyway, here we go.
They're not using Algorand. They're not using Ethereum. When I tried to find out which blockchain it sits on, they didn't say anything. You know, we keep hearing that blockchain technology is great, and DLT ledgers are great, but we don't like cryptocurrency. Well, guys, that's what they're talking about. You can run, I don't know how much, maybe 75% of everything that we need to do on Web3 and blockchain.
All right. I know I said I want to pause it, but hold on. This is good stuff because we want to have a back and forth conversation, not just with myself and Sean, but you guys as well. Sean, this comment from Menelek is a great comment. We were talking about Nostro Vostro earlier. So Nostro Vostro accounts being replaced by XRP means XRP has to have at least a $5 trillion market cap. Some people even got higher. This is where the whole debate comes from. Like, you know, with the utility run, we'll see market caps that we've never, ever seen before in the history of crypto. What do you think about his particular statement in regards to at least $5 trillion market cap?
Yeah, no, I'd have to check the math, but I think if you're going to go with that assumption that XRP is replacing Swift or going to be the vehicle that the money runs through, then yes. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be all of that. This guy obviously doesn't believe that's going to be true, that these other two companies or maybe multiple of these companies are actually helping moving the money around. But that we're going to have to do more research on.
Well, remember earlier, and also probably at the quarter mark of the show or halfway mark of the show, depending on how long the show goes, I mentioned the whole thing of, you know, the concept of Nostro Vostro and how that is a really great utility layer of Ripple's XRP. That in itself has to make XRP worth a lot of money. And, you know, nothing against this gentleman. I respect his opinion. Don't exactly respect the whole thing of calling everybody idiots, but, you know, that's beside the point. But he doesn't really mention anything in regards to this video. And this would now technically be the second time we replayed it, if you want to count how many times we watched it, Sean. He doesn't mention anything about the whole concept of Nostro Vostro.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. And maybe he intentionally just left that part out because he just wants to prove a point. He's trying to prove his point that XRP is not going to be used on Swift and that it's, you know, some of these other companies. And he does have a valid point there and I know I mentioned this before, but a lot of these banks and financial institutions, they like the technology. They don't like the associated tokens that go with it, right? They're not looking to make, you know, billionaires out there of regular retail people who hold XRP, XLM, you know, Cypherium, whatever it's going to be. You know, they're just looking at the technology. How can we move payments faster and cheaper and get instant settlements, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So that's where it's at. But like I said, I'm going to have to go back and look and see what kind of liquidity these guys have for this, because I don't believe that they've got the money ready to go, just sitting, you know, on the sidelines and ready for them to flip the switch.
Yeah, very true. And I understand, you know, he as in, you know, this particular gentleman is trying to prove his point. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and read one more from Joseph Thompson. He states, agreed, but they can have a system where it could be cross-border, where the currency is converted automatically. And then on top of that, by the way, Joseph Thompson, I haven't seen you here before. Consider changing your avatar to something that speaks more about who you are, what you're about. Guys, if you haven't done so already, please welcome Joseph. We'd love to see more of you. Great comments, Joseph. We definitely welcome it. And I will read this one as well as probably, like, I guess one more after that. Actually, no, there will be one I read after that because Quant Papa's in the house. Great to see him. But Coochie Boy says, XRP is on-demand real-time settlements across all borders. CBDCs may not be able to settle in real time.
Well, they can settle in real time if they're using XRP
Yeah, I think that's
or
that'll be the main point.
some of
Yeah.
the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point of them doing that. That's why they're reaching out to companies like Ripple to say, hey, what's our best option here? Like, what can we do? And I'm sure they're going through more than one scenario. Like, how does it work? What's our the best benefit for it? What's it going to cost? Right? They have to go through every little thing, and then they'll come up with certain scenarios. They'll run tests, and then pick a winner.
Right. Mr. Lambos also has a follow-up for that. He says, Cooch, I hope FDIC is still in effect if that were to happen. Some other content creators talked about this numerous times. I believe Richard Common Sense Crypto, maybe a little bit Crypto Lulu. And that is this, if we have a dollar completely collapse and you, as in the person who holds millions of dollars, wants to be compensated because of the FDIC insurance plan, if you will, right? How long are you realistically going to have to wait on that? Or how about this? Will you ever get it fully back? Because that's going to affect quite a few people, So there is that. I'm going to read this real quick, and then we'll kick it back into the video. Quant Papa, hey man, good to see you. As Larry would say, I love it when they call me Quant Papa. He says, Crypto Talk Now, bro, check the quant page you did with Swift, and then look for OMFIF on that page, and click on that link, and then scroll down. You're gonna love it. All right. I don't know if I'll be able to get to that tonight, but we'll try to see if we can while we're still doing this particular outline. Thanks for being here, Quant Papa. And again, Quant Papa, man, you're killing it with the research. I did another quant video. Be on the lookout for it, guys. It's in regards to a particular company with SIM cards and so on, the quant connection, why it's important. But a lot of the research, I should say most of it, definitely comes from Quant Papa. All right. I'm going to read this last one, and then we're going to kick it back into the video. Coochie Boy says, yeah, but FDIC doesn't insure millions, only 250,000. He believes. Very true. My uncle, he, of course, got a big inheritance many years ago when his mother passed away, which was, I think it was 15 million split between him and his sister. And what he did is he, took 250,000 and divided it, or that was it 7.5 million, I should say, and divided with multiple different banks. I mean, God, I think it was like over 20 or something like that, because he wanted FDIC insurance. Of course, he's anti-crypto and all that. That's beyond the point. All right. Glad that people recognizing Quant Papa. Let's go ahead and kick it back into this outline. 60 wonderful people here tonight. We're about an hour and a half into the show. I think we're having a pretty good flow tonight. Wouldn't you say, for the most part, Sean? We're getting a lot covered.
Yeah, no, this is good. It's great information to cover as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It wasn't even planned. It turned out to be a pretty awesome show so far, I think. Anyway. All right. So let's get back into that. Just going to resume. And here we go.
We can do that without tokens. You don't have to have a token. And that's what the legacy banking system is trying to accomplish. That is what JP Morgan's trying to accomplish, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance. That's what they're all trying to accomplish. Consensus. They still don't have a token, but they are one of the leaders in cross-border payments and CDBCs. So anyway, guys, hopefully this was some good information. Hey, it sucks. Don't shoot the messenger. You shouldn't be mad at me, in my opinion. Be mad at the people that are lying to you. Because what they do, they take charts like the one I showed you, that one, which is made up by a flat-out idiot. And I would love to talk to the idiot that created this, because this is 100% a lie chart. And I'm not going to spread that lie anymore. So anyone that pushes this on you, you need to call them out. And anyone that tells you that Swift's going to run on its own on XRP rails and the back end and the front end, guys, that's misinformation. You're going to see when you dive into it, Link, Quant, and HBAR are probably going to be the number one winners outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum on the banking reset. Because, guys, the majority of the lion's share of Swift and the legacy banking system, when that reset happens, it's going to be kept by the legacy banking system. I've said that from day one. The tokens that we all know, Algorand and Quant and all those, they're going to be fine, guys. They have great infrastructure platforms. They're going to be a part of it. But it's not going to be a great reset where your $1,000 bag turns into retirement because XRP is now, tokenizing the world and everything runs on XRP rails. It's a flat out lie, guys, and I'm calling out anyone. Highly recommend, if you agree with what I said, please share this, subscribe, hit the like button, come back, be part of this community. Now remember, not financial advice. And guys, the reason this is so important and the reason I'm so riled up, I don't want none of us to miss the greatest opportunity in history that's coming down the pipe because we stacked the wrong bags or stacked the wrong amount or sold it the wrong time because we're following idiots with misinformation. It's the blind leading the blind. And I promise you guys, 99% of the influencers out there that are pumping ISO and XRP, they don't have a clue, guys. I'm calling them out right now. They're absolute idiots. I used to think that it was just that they were lying because they wanted to pump their bags and pump their channel. But guys, they just don't know better. They haven't done their homework. They never researched the competition. They only listen to Brad and David and positive things that come out about XRP or XLM or Quant or whatever. But they don't follow JP Morgan. They don't follow these companies that no one has ever heard of. But guys, go down the rabbit hole. Go to ecsfin.com. See what they're all about. Compare them to Ripple. Compare them to the Quant Foundation. Compare them to all of them. And guys, I'm not here to hate on any project. Like I said, I own them all, and I still love most of them. I'm not unstacking my bags. My bags are stacked. Those projects have real world utility, and they solve a lot of problems. But guys, the legacy banking system has solved cross-border payments and liquidity and all that stuff without the use of, say, Ripple, XRP, and XLM and all those tokens. They've solved it. They got it covered. Does that mean they're not going to use them? Maybe a little around the edges. Does that mean that some banks are not going to use them exclusively? No, it doesn't. They will get their share. But guys, when it all, is said and done, the legacy banking system has maintained their dominance. SWIFT isn't going anywhere. And the odds are no one's going to take significant market share from them. And I'm calling out anyone, prove me wrong. Because quite frankly, guys, I've done my homework. And if you do yours, I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me. That being said, guys, I can't be more bullish. Just keep stacking really good real world utility tokens. And guys, the next bull run, when we get some clarity and the Fed pivots, it's going to change people's lives. For me, my number one focus right now are the AI tokens. Now, I just did a video on Delencium, and it is a gaming metaverse AI token that I think is probably the project. It is at the top of my.
All right. So, if anything, I think he made his point. Glad to share it with you guys. I see some comments. I feel as though you're ready to inject. Go for it.
No, I'd say, yeah, we've gone through this. The fact that he's using that chart again, it doesn't make any sense to me. The chart is not Swift. And I'm having a hard time getting around the fact that these two private companies or a private company is going to be the one that's going to be moving all of Swift's money. They have a liquidity pool large enough to handle even a tenth of it. I doubt it, right? I'm doubting that the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know. I like what he says. There's definitely new information to go research. And yes, you know me. I've said XRP is not going to be moving all the money. It's going to be many different tokens. He agreed with that, especially on the CBDC side. There's going to be multiple different blockchains moving CBDCs. I would like to know how they're all going to work together, and I know Quant is going to be a big part of that. Plugging in all these things to be able to work together. So I mean, it's something to digest and think about. It gives you really good pause to go and look at all the information that you think and try to verify certain things, right? Do I really want to solidify the knowledge that I have and the belief system that I have now, or do I need to go down a different road and start? And I do this a lot to myself. And in the real world, I think I know something, and then I get a little sliver of like, maybe I don't know everything, and then I can just go down that side road and I'm trying to prove myself wrong. Like I'm trying to say, nope, you don't know it, And so that's where you're going to learn, or you're either going to prove yourself wrong, or you're going to solidify your original point.
Well, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean,
Yeah.
We need to hold everyone accountable, all projects, ourselves. I mean, it's money that is being used. It's our hard-earned money. It's an investment. But anyway, I see that we have a lot of comments, a lot of great problems, good problems tonight. So I really appreciate you guys all being here tonight. We do have a little bit more that we're going to get into. We are going to try to, for the most part, maybe cut it off around, I don't know, 2 hours or something. It just depends. I want to get more into some of these comments. I'm trying to see where I was my last comment, I should say. This is definitely delayed because I think this has to do with the, yeah, absolutely. So really delayed reaction. Man, how far behind are we? That's a really 8:07, and I'm on the same time as you until later this month, by the way, because of daylight savings. I'll be an hour ahead of you, or behind you. Anyway, that's crazy. Yeah. Anyway, funny stuff. Wall Street paid that dude. I like the comments. Quant Papa says, to the moon. I smell future millionaires in this chat. Thank you, Quant Papa. Guys, we give Sean a plug. We give ourselves a plug. Giving this guy a plug. I'm going to do it right now, actually. If he's still here, he might not be. He might be like, ski guys, I'm going home. But anyway, it's Quant Papa. I'm going to show you guys his particular Twitter page. I'm going to give him a plug. And here it is. Follow the great Quant Papa. He has 1,807 followers. You might as well call him a Quant Maxi. And at this point, I mean, who doesn't really want to be a Quant Maxi? I don't know. But yeah, he keeps putting great things out. I'll show you the one that I recently did. I need to release it. Probably be late tonight / early in the morning. I don't know. Kind of undecided on that, but I'll show you the one I did. He's got tons of information in regards to Quant. But I'll show you the one that I did, and it's this right down here. Hold on a second. It's this one for the Vodafone in regards to iSIM over ledger integrated SIM cards. Why that's so crucial. I did a complete deep dive in regards to that. And again, give credit where credit's due. Because of Quant Papa's research, definitely helped with my outline. Sir, you're one of the go-to guys for as the Quant All-Stars go, right? You, Greg Lunt, Tokenizer. There's a few others, but you guys just provide such great research. Give him a follow. Again, you can just type in Quant Papa, or if you just want, the handle is at Quant_Papa. I'm sure he would appreciate the follow. And yeah, let's go ahead and kick it back into the comments. Let me see where we're at. Just a matter of time. Quant Papa, patience is key. Yes. How about Quant Papa's comment? Don't let the government, I think he's trying to say, shake you out of generational wealth. That's the way I look at it. And if anything, it's always good to be more diversified. Yes. All right. Coochie Boy is saying this towards Quant Pop. I'm going to read it anyway. He says, crypto investors are always getting smarter, but they're always the gray area. Yes. Brian Dowie says, got to keep it fun, Max. Well, I'm glad I was able to, live up to my name, Maximus, right? Are you not entertained? I'm sure you guys have seen the movie. Anyway, yes. Here's a good statement from Coochie Boy. Yep, trillions have been lost in this crypto bear winter. ISO Jetpack J0229, welcome back. He says people will lose jobs from the fourth industrial revolution. AI will run everything nowadays, no days off, no health insurance or union, because the only legal coin, it's the only legal coin in Japan, I guess, referring, what was it, back to Jasmine. Metalex says Jasmine is not the Bitcoin in Japan, but it's clever marketing. It is. I wanted to restate that. I'm totally with you guys. I get it. But it is clever marketing because, people that don't know about crypto, let's face it, in Japan, even people who live there don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is, or Shitoshi Kusama. Is there a third name I'm missing? I think so. Who's the guy from Volt?
Voltoshi.
Volt, yeah. Every time I mention those other guys first, I'm like, okay, there's somebody I'm missing. Yes, Voltoshi. So it's all, I doubt that the overall population even knows who, Satoshi Nakamoto is. Jeez, there's a lot of Japanese names. Anyway, Brian Dowie, thanks for the financial advice, Max. Just sold my XRP for jeez. That's horrible. Anyway, all right. You want to? I don't know. Do you want to end this soon, or you want us to go a little bit longer, Mr. Crypto Smith?
No, I think we need to get through, these comments. There's some good comments in here.
Well, I'm saying after the comments. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Jetpack J0229, Bitcoin is legal, hence why you can use $1 at a Bitcoin. What's it say?
I think it's supposed to be machine. Or
yeah.
Or one of their Bitcoin machines.
Yeah, I just didn't read that right. Like I said, guys, if you read all day long and a ton of information, words just come up on the screen. I'm like, huh? Anyway, I don't know if you have that problem sometimes, Sean, if you read too much.
Yeah, I stare at a computer all day long too, writing up orders and stuff. But yeah, it can be a little much on the eyeballs.
Yeah, it can be. I want to welcome Mr. Rafael Santos. Good to see you, Rafael. Hope you're doing better, man. I really mean that. It sucks that all the bad things that happened to you, the typhoon, your house burned down, for crying out loud. You just need something awesome to happen to you today, or not just today, but like going forward. A cool thing happened to me. Obviously, the lady in front of me in the drive-through, paid it forward and basically paid for my little meal that I had and my drink. You just need, you and your family, God bless you. You need something awesome to happen to you. I wish you nothing but the best, man. Thanks for being here. Even though I know that lately you've been down in the dumps, you mentioned that you had to get out of crypto because, real life happened. I wish you nothing but blessings to you and your family. God, please help and bless Rafael Santos' family. Keep your guardian angels around him and his family. I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. You need to have blessings. No more bad luck happening to your family. Amen. I don't know if you know who Raphael is, Sean, but he has gone through.
I've heard a little bit of the stuff that's been going on with him. Yeah, that is rough. That is rough. Yeah. I mean, I'd say, keep your head up, man, and just keep moving forward.
Yes. And I'm glad that you're still trying to educate yourself. Thank you for retweeting our show, watching these shows, just being active. It says a lot for you, Raphael, to still wanting to persevere through that. So mad love to you, Raphael. I truly mean that, man. All right. I want to welcome, hopefully I'm not skipping anybody. Brian Solo, my H-bar for Jasmine. That's got to be somebody. That's a troll comment. I hope not. You got to stay diversified. But anyway, let's see here. John Francis is in the house. Welcome.
Welcome, John.
Yes. XLM, XRP are like bridges. They are fast and will be used much. Yeah, to say the least, right? Like not even just much, but probably a lot. We have 66 wonderful, beautiful people here tonight. As Larry would say, please smash that like button if you haven't done so already. And this has been probably one of our best shows. I think probably our best show with me and Crypto Smith, aka Sean, for Utility Talk Now. We just take up to 70, Sean.
Holy
cow!
This
is our record for both of us on Utility Talk Now. So yes, by all means,
thank you everybody for watching. Yeah,
man,
it's always a good time.
Subscribe to Sean the Crypto Smith. We'll get more into giving him a plug again. Let's see here. How about Brian Dowie? GS, because Max gave you financial advice. No, never give anyone financial advice. Please do not sue my later on in life because you're like that dirty, rotten Maximus. You know, he thought that Clifford Inu V4 was going to be the bee's knees. And I invested a lot of money in Clifford Inu V4. And now the whole entire thing just took an epic, massive dump on me. And I don't know what to do with these tokens other than shill them to my neighbor across the street that wants to keep shilling me information about Avon. I don't know what to do. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Okay.
Well, just keep this in mind. All right, everybody. Shinja Classic coming to an exchange near you.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I had to do it.
Go ahead. I had over $1,000 into Shinja, but anyway. Brian Dowie says, "Sup, John." All right, let's go further down. I mean, I guess they could salvage the whole thing. I did see it's up a lot.
It's dead. It's dead.
Were they going to drain liquidity or what?
People are. I mean, you can trade on this, right? Just the speculation of it coming back, but it was dead 9 months ago, right? That they've done nothing. The utilities they put out there, nobody really in the community really is participating in these things. They need to move on. And it's fine. It's fine for these things to fail. Businesses fail all the time.
Yeah.
So. You got to take that for what it is. You got to take your lumps, as you get them. I lost money on it early on in the beginning. And I moved on from these types of tokens. So they're all the same, right?
Yeah.
And not all of them are going to make it. As a matter of fact, very, very few are going to even make it to the year mark. I'm surprised Shinja lasted as long as it did.
Yeah, I think I about broke even. So originally I got into it and then I made about $2,000, something like that. And then after that, got back into it. So by getting back into it, I think with gas fees, probably broke even. So anyway, I got into it on day 2, by the way.
Yeah, I got out of it when they put that skin on Uniswap and called it, their own swap, whatever they called it. I was out. I was done with it at that point.
You saw it before everybody else, in a way.
No, and when they came out with their, they're coming out with their swap, and all they did was put a new skin over the Uniswap.
Oh, I see what you're saying, right?
Page.
Yeah,
That's all they did. They didn't do
using
anything.
like a template, and
then they tried to tell everybody, it cost them $1 million to do all that, and I'm like, you did nothing, literally, and now, and for that reason, I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Well, I'm glad you chose to do what you had to do. All right, John Francis says, "I'm an idiot, but I heard Swift isn't too fast or efficient alone." Apparently, and no disrespect to this guy, but apparently we're all a bunch of idiots. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, no, and John is correct. Swift, the current Swift system, the MT, is extremely slow and expensive, and not efficient at all. It was designed in the 70s, so that'll tell you something.
Yeah, that would tell you something. Shea carpeting.
Ooh. Get that avocado green.
Oh, jeez. Bell bottoms. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, it's a good point, John. Thank you for being here. I think John changed his avatar from what it originally was, but that's okay. Yes, we definitely hope Raphael is doing better. Blackwood states one of the most valuable assets of the United States since inception is hypocrisy. Yeah. And as Doc Hollywood would say, or Doc Hollywood, not Doc Hollywood, that would be Michael J. Fox. Doc Holiday, my hypocrisy has no bounds. Remember that? Tombstone?
Oh, yeah.
I've been to Tombstone a few times, by the way.
Really?
Anyway, 70 wonderful, beautiful people, as Larry would say. Once again, thank you guys. All right. I do want to read this, and it is from Raphael. He says, "Sir Brian, me and my kids are okay. We are living with my brother's house or in his house. Me working double time needs to build my home again." Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry, Raphael. But I'm glad you have a brother to live with. For you guys that don't know, my mother's from the Philippines, and so on. She passed away in 2019. So anyway, I could definitely relate to a family that struggles over there in the Philippines. We did take up to 72, man. I think our record for me is 73. So maybe we can do it. Hit the like if you haven't done so already.
Breaking records.
Maybe.
Let's do it.
Maybe. All right. So I'm gonna read this real quick, and thank you for the nice comment you had to Raphael, Brian. Raphael states XRP is the only token he has now. At least you have it, man. But I'll try to beg more coins someday. But at least you have that. Thank God for that. All right. ISO, yeah, right. Yeah. ISO Jetpack J0229. ISO is messaging, and ISO is voluntary compliance system, not a law. Let me just double check to see on the other screen if I missed anything, and I didn't. That's okay. I do see some emojis from Salamander. Thank you for doing that. Keeps the algorithm going, guys. I really appreciate that.
So I want to address that last message from ISO Jetpack J0229.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
So, and he's 100% correct. It is a voluntary compliance system, not a law. However, you can't move money, from bank to bank unless you're part of the SWIFT network. And if you're not ISO compliant, you can't be part of the SWIFT network. So it isn't a law, and it's not mandatory, but it does stop you from doing, banky things if you're not part of that network. So you kind of have to do it if you're a bank.
Yeah, good point. Let's see here. Laws have to be equal rights according to Jetpack. Yes, that's right. My kids are the most important to me. That just shows you're a great dad, man. And when you have better days ahead in a few years, when we all retire early from hopefully all of this, you can look back at the hard pressing times, and I'm sure they'll appreciate it even that much more. And yeah, man, that's one thing to do. Blackwood, he says all he wants is for Elizabeth Warren, to stand at the entrance of a Pizza Hut. Oh boy, where is this going? Directly in the path of the best slingshot launch of a 9-year-old could ever make. Yeah, she's not exactly good news for crypto ever.
No.
I try to keep things neutral, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of her either. Jetpack J0229, you can check that on Ledger Wallet. USDC Circle is on XLM. Okay. Quant Papa probably might still be around. I don't know. Thank you for that. Any states, and I guess this is the one that you were referring to earlier, they're gonna use the ISO to run the CBDC. Brian's giving you praise, Sean.
Thanks for. Oh yeah. What answer was that? Oh, I think that was the Corium question he asked.
Yeah. I need to take more. I need to watch more of your Corium videos because if you might not like this, I don't know. I know it's not financial advice, but to be honest, if it wasn't for your Cypherium video, I don't know if I would have gotten to Cypherium.
You know what? It's all a gamble, right? We don't know what Cypherium is going to be used for, right? Like you say, at the end of the day. But I do have. Okay, here was my question to somebody. I was having a discussion in Twitter about Cypherium because they were kind of bagging on Ripple and XRP, even though this person owns both. Cypherium only has 7% of their supply out there, right? Because I was saying that if the world reserve currency, and this is what this guy was trying to say, that Cypherium was going to be the next world reserve currency. Now, I'm going to say I don't agree with that, but it's fine. And his point was they only came out with 7% of the supply because I pointed out to him that the world reserve currency would have to be given up, right? So is Sky, the CEO or founder of Cypherium, is he willing to give up his entire project and all of the tokens that are out there to world banks? Because they're not going to have a world reserve currency that's run by some dude named Sky. That's not going to happen. So, and he said, yes, the Sky has that understanding that he's going to give up basically his project to the world banks in order for it to be the world reserve currency. So, I mean,
yes. Okay.
So that's why they only release 7% because that's holding everything else out. So retail can't buy it, and then they can give up those tokens. That was the answer. It's a good answer. I don't believe it. That's going to happen. I don't think that's going to be a thing. So, but it was good. Yeah, it was a good answer, and I'm sure CBDCs will be using Cypherium also, at some point. So, there's still a reason to hold it.
So at the end of the day, put your money where your mouth is. Put up or shut up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's like I said, it was good information and it was a good answer to the question, but I just, I don't believe it myself.
All right. Well, I want to welcome Rayan. Is it me you're looking for? Fat Juice, Lionel Richie. Anyway, that's beside it. You're probably like, what? Anyway, why do we always say Lionel Richie? It's Larry who got me on that Lionel Richie.
He did, yeah.
Anyway, yes, welcome Rayan. He says, I was moving all dining room to replace the floor wood. I'm so tired, guys. Oh, nice. Well, maybe you drank some fat juice and you burned off all that fat juice. So that's good. I don't even know where I'm going with this fat juice thing. I just remember that Rayan said something about fat juice about a week ago, but that's okay. Good to see you, Rayan. ISO Jetpack J0229. The thing is, even though we'll have CBDC, what will be the central bank?
Well, there's many different central banks, but which one is the central bank of central banks? Right.
The Rothschilds Central Bank of central banks.
We call it
Which one?
BIS. That's the central bank of central banks.
Mr. Augustine and his people want to give me crap. Him and his Krispy Kreme donut.
Oh yeah.
Anyway. Rayan states, Brian, Tim, and ISO, my people, love you guys. No love for me and Sean. That's okay, Rayan. No, I'm kidding. All right, so we got xrpchat.com. I can't, that's what sucks. I can't copy. I can go on the other screen. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can still pull that up. Because you know what? Maybe that would be good to look into. Actually, hold on a second. You got the one with Brad Garlinghouse. You know what? I did have something about that. Somebody sent me a message. I think it was what's the guy's name? Papa X Max, who watches our show. He sent me a DM in regards to that the Brad Garlinghouse interview. I'm gonna see if I can pull that particular link up. I can't pull it up right now. I'm trying to get it. Hold on a second. Maybe this is the one. No, that's XRP. No, that's not the one. Why isn't it not pulling that particular link up? That's so weird. That's all right. Sorry about that, Menelect. It's just with the link sharing and so on. Unless you want to try to pull it up, Mr. Crypto Smith, but you don't have to.
Yeah, I was trying to find it, but yeah. I don't see it.
All right, let's go further down. XLM is decentralized. I think some people are saying goodbye to some people. Tim Shea says, get some rest, Rand. Relax, bro. Peace, fam. Rand says, yeah, Tim, I will after the show. Okay. There is no central bank. A central banks, basically, I think is what he's trying to say. Quant Papa's flexing because that's what Quant Papa does. Rand states, oh, this guy, he's legend. He knew a lot, to be honest. Who's legend? What's his name? Mr.
Crypto Bellwether.
Crypto Bellwether, yeah. But here's the thing. I guess he apparently did, like he's worked or rubbed elbows at least with some of these guys in that industry, from what I gathered. Right? He did mention something about that. Yeah.
Yeah. He said he worked at a not a bank, but a brokerage. Sounded like.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll try to see if I can pull up this particular link. So I'll just manually type it in ripple.com/insights. Hold on a second. Ripple.com. Going old school, guys. /insights/liquidity-explained. Liquidity. Explained. And I used to be able to type 120 words per minute. I'm a lot slower than I used to.
Can't you just copy and paste it?
Nope, not from StreamYard. Can't do it.
Okay, I can do it on my end. That's weird.
Well, just because your schnozberries taste like schnozberries. I don't know.
What's wrong with you, Max? What are you doing?
You know what movie that's from, by the way?
That is from a very funny movie, and I can't remember the name of it.
Dude,
the original.
Dude, where's my car?
Yeah, pull over. He's already pulled over.
Yeah.
You can't pull over any further.
Schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I actually have it. So
Okay.
that's fine. Let's go ahead and share it. And if anything, how about this? You can elaborate on this. I've been reading a lot. Or I could do it. It don't matter.
Go for it.
Yeah. Shout out to, I guess we're doing a little bit of extended coverage. We're well past the 2-hour mark. You cool with that, obviously, huh? For a little bit?
Yeah, for a little bit.
Okay. So, guys, thank the Crypto Smith for staying around a little bit longer. Shout out to Menelect. This is Liquidity Explained. This is from the actual official Ripple site, March 20th, 2018. This is part of, research, right? So it says the Financial Times defines liquidity within a transaction as how easy it is to perform an exchange in a particular security or instrument, or the ease of converting an instrument into cash for withdrawal. This takes into account the stability and price of each instrument over the course of a transaction. And by the way, anything I'm reading, if you want to, interrupt and inject, it's fine. It helps with the flow. If a financial transaction is an engine with moving parts and multiple factors that impact its performance, then liquidity is the oil that makes it move. That's a great statement. I might have to clip that. I might have to put that on a tweet. Good, clean oil in the form of cheap and readily available liquidity means less risk and a faster, smoother transaction. For routine domestic transactions like a debit card purchase or paper check deposit, liquidity is generally high because financial exchanges normally execute in a single currency and are approved against account balances and held by each party in the transaction. But when you assess liquidity for international or cross-border transactions, the oil begins to thin and performance breaks down. Man, this is really true. International transactions already face hurdles and delays because of country-specific regulations and currencies. Exchanging one currency for another introduces a price and time variance that could impact pricing on each side of the exchange. This erodes the stability of the transaction, therefore the liquidity and increases risk and costs. As a result, financial institutions must be pre-funded nostro-vostro accounts on each side of the transaction in that country's native
Okay,
currency.
hang on one second.
Go ahead. Sure.
So I want to try to explain real quick for those who aren't familiar with all of this on how transactions work. So what you were just reading about the hurdles of the different transactions, right? When you're sending a cross-border payment through the bank and we're going from dollars to yen, I'm sure everybody has heard of FX, right? Foreign exchange, right? And this is basically the dollar rate, how much the dollar is worth to the Japanese yen. And those things constantly change, right? The exchange rates are always changing. So if it takes a long time to move the money, the amount of dollars that you sent may not be worth the amount of yen that was originally intended, right? So it creates that price instability and the transaction instability. That's what they're trying to correct here. That's why using something that is almost instant, right? We don't have to worry about the price of XRP, going up and down because it's happening within seconds. And so the price doesn't move that fast. If it takes hours or days, there could be a significant difference in the price from when the transaction was started to when it's received on the other end and then changed into whatever your currency is. So I just want to explain that to kind of break it down to help people kind of digest what that really means and what they're talking about.
No, it's a great explanation. I love that men like share this. At the same time, with what you just mentioned, right? Well, how about this? Then that furthermore solidifies, as I would say, this notion about then XRP, Ripple's XRP has to have a high store of value to move massive volumes of money that's never been moved at that type of speed and security. It has to be worth a lot.
That further demonstrates my need to understand what this other guy was saying about a company that already has liquidity for the system. Well, how are they changing dollars into yen? Right? Are they holding dollars? Are they holding yen? Are they holding all currencies and all denominations? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. You have to have something to bridge those things, which is why XRP was created in the beginning. So there is more questions that are going to come out of this, and I'm going to have to do some research on that. But from what he was saying, and he didn't mention these Nostra Vostro accounts, probably because according to him, they're still going to exist, right? Because it's still using the traditional form of money. So you can't really get rid of those accounts because you have to exchange one currency for the other. So therefore, you have to hold, all sorts of different currencies if you're a major player, in the banking world.
Yeah, and just off the surface, when I went just a little bit, I mean, I could have went more pages into those other sites that he presented in the video. I didn't see anything mentioned at all about Nostra Vostro, so there is that.
Right.
Anyway, let's get a little bit more into this, just and so on. Where was the part we left off? Hold on a second. I think we're at the part where it states, as a result, financial institutions, must pre-fund Nostro accounts on each side of a transaction in that country's native currency. These account balances in a local currency improve liquidity by lowering the risk of, or I should say, for the parties transacting. However, these accounts come at a high cost. According to a 2016 McKinsey Global Payments report, there is approximately, listen to this, guys, $5 trillion sitting dormant in these accounts around the world. Now, I want to reiterate this. And Metalec, hopefully you're still watching. Is this where you get that statement of Ripple's XRP would basically be or need to be 5 trillion in market cap?
Yeah, this is where he got that.
Okay. All right. I just didn't know if that was a coincidence or not. So it says tying up capital that could be used in more productive ways. They also must be actively managed to ensure balances are commensurate, if I pronounce that right, with transaction volume. The cost and complexity of holding these accounts around the world is one reason why only a handful of banks can process global transactions. And I think that's a key thing here that we need to recognize, right? So this wasn't mentioned in that gentleman's video, and also on top of that, look at the next statement, right? The burden of maintaining Nostro accounts worldwide is simply unsustainable for most organizations. Again, I understand maybe he'll follow up, don't get me wrong. I imagine some people in the comments on my video, it's going to get brought up at some point. I'll have to, take more of my own research and look into that. But anyway, small to mid-sized banks and payment providers instead pay a fee to use the international transaction system of their larger brethren. And how about this for size, right? So with the old traditional system of SWIFT with MT messaging and so on, right? As we know, we report this numerous times to you guys. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's something like $10 trillion a central bank will get hit with a fee of, isn't it something like $60 billion off of 10 trillion? That's a lot of money, right? It may not seem like it compared to the big scope of $10 trillion, but when they start implementing some of this technology, whether it's Ripple's, on-demand liquidity and so on, you have to keep in mind that significantly reduces the amount of fees they'll get hit with. I don't know the exact amount, but I do know this much. And I gave this particular example in a video that was released a few days ago. So one guy was talking about how he was able to transfer $50 million. And I know that's all significantly less compared to billions and trillions, don't get me wrong, but $50 million in 3 seconds. And it cost him, if I'm not mistaken, what was it, 30 cents? Maybe not even that.
Yeah, it was tiny, a tiny amount comparatively. And yeah, the SWIFT system currently is very expensive for anybody to send. If you're living here in the U.S. and you want to send money home to the Philippines, it costs money, right? They're going to charge you a percent. Usually, it could be 5%, it could be 10%, and take days to actually settle. So it's obvious. I mean, obviously, they knew they've been working on this for a while, and they knew they needed to update their system. They've been working on ISO 222 for years.
Right. So I'll read this a little bit more in regards to, I think this is great. I mean, I'm glad that, Metalect and our community sharing all this. Shout out again, Sobo, for, that particular, our main topic of the night. Shout out to Metalect, a lot of you guys. We have a very intelligent audience. We have had it for many, many months now, going on almost a year. Can't thank you guys enough. It's nice to see people take more of a deep dive into all this, and it comes out. As the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the research. So I'm gonna go a little bit more into this. It says digital assets can be used to lower the cost and improve the speed of liquidity for these cross-border transactions. Very true, especially with Ripple's XRP. This is especially true in emerging markets where the cost of currency exchange is high and the trading volume is low. A digital asset designed for enterprise can take the place of nostro accounts and offer on-demand liquidity. This is possible because the digital asset serves as a universal currency, instantly and cheaply changing any payment into its needed local currency. We can even apply some of the things you see here could be applied to, for instance, XLM. We did it, for instance, on the live show. We talked about, the Naira, right, in Nigeria, and how kind of like a little bit more of what Sean Crypto Smith was talking about. These foreign exchange markets, can really diminish the value of the native currency of various, third world countries, whether it's Nigeria and so on. This creates tremendous amount of more use case and demand for cryptocurrency such as XLM and so on, because it's not diminishing the price or value, store of value of the native currency. That is a really, really important utility layer, if you will, when it comes to all this. Another thing I was going to show you right here is it says banks and payment providers can then free up the assets that would normally be committed to funding nostro accounts around the world. Even better, banks and payment providers that would usually be locked out of transacting on their own can now engage in international payments directly. To be successful, a digital asset must be designed to settle transactions quickly. An example would be, Bitcoin is a great store of value, but is poorly suited for transactions because it can take over an hour to fully settle a transaction. Or how about this? Many hours, depending on the amount of the transaction. If we're dealing with trillions, you better believe it might take all darn day long, right? It also has a limited capacity of 16 transactions per second. It's slow, outdated technology. You will never see the central banks even having a conversation of considering Bitcoin for cross-border payments or overseas payments, right? It's not part of the equation at all. All right. I'm going to read out just this last part, and then we'll kick it back in the comments. It says, by contrast, a digital asset like XRP settles in mere seconds and can handle, of course, 1,500 TPS. I believe XTC is like 2,000. That's beyond the point. A throughput on par with Visa and other card networks. This is because XRP was created specifically for enterprise use to provide liquidity for international transactions. Speed and volume are crucial considerations. The faster the transaction, the more a sender is protected from volatility risk, and the faster the recipient receives fully settled funds. I want to just highlight that for you guys for a second. So after we get regulatory clarity, I feel as though you can apply this particular statement to institutional money. And what I mean by that is once we get that regulatory clarity, institutional money will come in specifically for what? Not just because this is faster, but because there's less volatility risk. You have to have something which has a consistent store of value where it's not extremely volatile. Institutional money is not going to put their money into something that's going to be extremely volatile. So we get that clarity. We see the most amazing time in the history of crypto, in my opinion. Am I too far off on this, Sean?
Nope, you're not off at all. In my opinion, that's the institutional money will not put put their money into anything that has any sort of liquidity problems or volatility, or can be up, 50% or down 50%, in a day or two. That's never going to happen. Crypto as a whole, as we continue on, is going to get less and less volatile. Right, we're not going to have these massive swings. 10 years from now, if you get 10% gain on one of your new projects, in a month, that's going to be good. So enjoy it while it happens now. If you love the volatility, play the game now because it's going to be over at some point.
Right, absolutely. We're going to get further into a few more comments. By the way, Menelek, thank you so much for the research. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks again. Brian Dow's recognized, great articles and so on. Cash Cats, welcome. He says, hi, guys. Can only stop in for a moment. Just want to drop in and say hi. He's probably gone for the night by now. Tonight is me and my wife's 19th anniversary. Catch y'all later.
Congratulations.
You know what, Cash? You're a real fan of our content or show and so on. I mean, to drop in on your anniversary just to say hello, that's humbling. Thank you. Yeah. Of course, there's that one with Brad Garlinghouse. I think I have that somewhere. We might just include that on tomorrow's because we're already 2 hours and 19 minutes into the show. I do want to respect Sean's time as well as everybody else's. Thanks for the well wishes, Tim, to Mr. Cash Cats. Coochie Boy states, from his message, it sounds like CBDCs will be nothing more than a messaging system similar to SWIFT.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but from his message, maybe I didn't get that out of it, but I don't think that's going to be the case. CBDCs can transact, with each other without running on the SWIFT network.
Right. Everybody's wishing Cash Cats well. Sobo says, Quant will share, not be the one and only. Yeah, but man, they sure as the heck make everything interoperable. Jeez. I will say it once, I'll say it again. Do you know of any other cryptocurrency project or product or service out there that has more layers of utility than Quant, especially with Overledger? I don't know of one.
And to me, it's really about having the widest level of ability to connect. That's going to be helpful, right? Because it's going to be able to be useful for all sorts of different industries, not just not just the banking or financial, but a lot of industries are going to be able to use the Overledger to connect different, unlike systems together with software with their APIs.
Quant Inu. Oh my gosh, that's like an oxymoron. Like that's like saying the good terrorist. Like, huh?
Yeah, don't disrespect Quant like that.
Quant Inu. Oh god, that's horrible. But we need a good laugh. Thank you, GS. According to this guy's Quant Inu. Yeah. Well, anyway. Koa Wen. I know I'm pronouncing the last name right because I have Vietnamese friends that everybody says it's Nugent. It's not. It's Wen. So I'm gonna say. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing your first name right. Maybe it's Ho Wen. I don't know. Let me know. He says Sologenic will be the winner. I know that you talked a little bit about Sologenic, and you're saying that you feel as though that was it like they're on exchange or something. It's kind of wonky, or right?
They're just the decentralized exchange for the XRPL. I just don't like the way that it's laid out myself.
Yeah,
it's not easy to use, not intuitive.
Right now, he says he respectfully disagrees. Blackwood, please, or put Liz's face on a token called Lying Biznachini or something. All right. GS Blackwood 100%. Selmo says bullish in 2023 with his XRP. Yeah, you know me. And Metalec, watch the Brad Garlinghouse interview I linked above stating that XRP will replace Swift. I don't know. Let's see. I don't even know where it's at. I apologize. I have it on some other things saved. We'll probably try to play it for tomorrow. We're just trying to, get through the comments and wrap this up here in a bit. I do thank you, Metalec. Coochie Boy says he disagrees. Also, he doesn't think banks. Hold on. The people hired to do the transition. Sorry if I read that wrong. Oh, yeah. Okay, you corrected it. Russell C., welcome back. Any country outside the West won't be able to use the SWIFT system. Any country tied to the BRICS will use the rails of crypto. That's a good statement. I think that's true.
Well, I mean, it's technically no. There a lot of countries, use the SWIFT system. A lot of countries, and then he's saying maybe if we're dividing ourselves into the West and then BRICS, as two different systems, then yeah, I think obviously Russia is not going to be able to use SWIFT system at this point.
No,
they've been banned.
Yeah, but I mean, Putin just looked at it like, all right, like find other means, and he did.
And he did, yeah.
Yeah. Tim Shea says, hey, Koa. Sobo says, thank you, Max and Sean. You're very welcome, Sobo. Thank you very much. Mr. Wen says Sologenic is applying a license for tokenization. Is that true?
I don't know what that means.
Sorry to put you on the spot. I was thinking.
I don't know what that means. I don't know. I mean, yeah, they're looking to tokenize things, but I don't know who you would apply for a license with.
Well, I'm just looking. How about this? Okay, so you
Applying
mentioned the
license
whole
for
thing because I'm just really into with Liechtenstein, right? The exchange. I did a recent video, but Monty Metzger was in the intro. It shows him like he's interviewing Prince Michael Liechtenstein, and they got approved for the tokenization of digital assets and so on. So Sologenic also applying for a license for the tokenization of various other digital assets for like an exchange, if you will. Is that maybe where he's going with
yeah,
that?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't cover a lot of Sologenic, so.
All right. Well,
yeah,
my bad. I mean, I just was thinking maybe you knew. It's okay. Darn you, Sean, for not knowing about 22,000 cryptos out there.
I apologize.
Yes. Coochie Boy says small banks don't have the resources to make the transformation. Robert Ramos from BRL, which we'll be covering here probably, I don't know, with the next week or so. PawSwap token is doing great. Already listed in 10 exchanges and sitting about 80 million market cap. We might be doing I don't know 100% yet, but we might be doing like at least an AMA for them or something like that. Our main thing is we want to, see what the community thinks in regards to. We don't really show a lot of stuff. I think we have that reputation here and so on. But if anything, I think we might at least do like an AMA and see how it goes. All right, Wayne Side's in the house. I got to do it, Wayne Side, and that is just real quick. And I apologize, Sean. I know that we're about 25 minutes over, and that's okay. He says, SoCal in the house, man. Sir, sup, dude? Good to have you here, Wayne Side. Roberto Ramos saying, what's up to Tim? Everybody's welcoming each other. Yes, that's what Larry likes to say. Can we not get excited? Yes.
Yeah, get excited.
Yes. I'd like to welcome T. Lens. Welcome back. She said, hand pinky waving. Thanks for coming back, T. Lens. Glad that we impressed upon you to come back. Very, very cool. And yes, thanks for sharing the video, Men-elect. Tim Shea says, Brian, shouldn't Max give Caroline a plug? No, I'm good. I'm very, very good on that.
Not that kind of plug.
Yeah. No plug is worth that much. I mean, apparently not even $100 billion tax-free was worth it to never mind. DGen talk now, right? Yeah. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
All right. XRP bullish is F. Milwaukee G-Host says Project Icebreaker is the key. It says the system will separate cross-border FX payments, and they will automatically use the cheapest bridge currency with liquidity. I think that was part of my outline tonight in regards to Project Icebreaker. Thanks for pointing that out, Milwaukee Ghost. Consider changing your avatar to something about maybe the Milwaukee Bucks, having the ghost of, I don't know, somebody. It doesn't have to be the Milwaukee Bucks, but you don't have a point. Something that speaks more about who you are and what you're about. We hope to see more of you, Milwaukee Ghosts, and welcome. We have a very welcoming community. Guys, welcome, Milwaukee Ghosts. You haven't done so already. Selma Fuzz says, we in the wormhole, not the matrix. All right.
Okay.
Brian Dowie says, Tim, I'm laughing my freaking you-know-what off. Comment of the night for sure. Really? Maybe I missed it. This. Oh, maybe that's what he's talking about. All right. Well, maybe because of my comments at the beginning of the show about the DJ. Never mind, the DJ talk. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Milwaukee Ghost says if XRP is the fastest, cheapest, most liquid option, it will be the chosen automatically. All right. Hold on a second, guys. We're gonna get more into this. We might not be able to get through all the comments. I'll do my best. Blackwood says, just say culturally offensive anime surname, Max. All the same pretentious BS. Okay. All right, T-Lens. I need to rewind. I missed everything. Yeah, you can if you want. We're one of the shows though, you just, it has a replay for you. Coochie Boy, has anyone heard of the Amazon token soon to launch on the No, I have not heard of that. Have you heard of that?
No, have not heard of that. I'll have to write that down.
Yeah, you do know the answer to that, don't you, Mr. Dowie? Yeah. And the answer is hell no about Caroline, Miss Bomb Bomb Bomb. All right. Kirk Angel says 525. Hello, man, Max. Good to have you back. And let's see here. Brian Dow, utility talk now. Great show, Max and Sean. Well, thanks, Brian. Appreciate the
Thank you. Appreciate
stamp
that.
of approval from you.
Fist.
Yes, I'm gonna type in fist talk now, right? That sounds bad too, but anyway,
That'll get you banned.
yeah. That would get us banned. That visual would be really bad. Wayne Side says, what coins will be available on Shibarium? Well, if anything, at least Bone. And in the future, I guess it would be the treat, which I'm not too gung-ho about the whole concept of treat. I'm just going to throw that out there. Is Shiba Inu even going to be part of it? I got to catch up on that stuff, to be honest. Even though I hold a lot of it, I need to catch up on it.
Then I don't really follow it.
Yeah. All right. So how about this? Rayan states, Shinja V4 extra. Yeah, that was a long time. I was talking about that a long time ago on the show. Rayan, 600 for Shiba Inu. Shiba, if you invest, it will get better when man, I don't know about that. I'm not flooding it. I mean, they've been talking about 1 cent or actually, that's not even 1 cent. That's 10 cents, isn't it? Yeah, that'd be 10 cents. Yeah. That'd be worth $100 million if that's the case, just off of SHIB. All right, Crypto Smith, don't worry, man. I'm gonna get things wrapped up here soon. All right, let's see, Miguel. I need to give a message to Miguel. So Miguel sent you a message on the DM on ctnnetwork.net. I did chop up the video and I recorded out for Affinity coin. It's in the recorded section of CTN or Crypto Talk Now. So I just thought I'd reiterate that. We did talk about it. And I have checked it out a little bit. I'll read this real quick because we're almost towards bottom. Open mind. I'm okay with being an idiot. I'll be an idiot making a lot of money with my non-used ISO 222 crypto. Yeah, I hear you on that, open mind. Yeah, it's just everybody has their own perspective. Yep. Miguel, he says he got Jasmine coin goal. I will start adding H-bar. Nice. Wayside Gala doing well today. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. Classic Crypto posted something about. I gotta look at the video about Mr. whatever his name is, the gamer guy, is really into Gala. All right. Salamander states, knowing how banks work very slow on technology, don't you think they have to be using XRP, XDC, XLM as their service provider? Yes. I don't think banks have created their own CBDCs. Very good point.
Yep, that's a great point. And no, they're not going to create their own CBDCs because no other country is going to want to utilize some other country's CBDC, right? There's no reason for them if they're transferring them back and forth. Why would a country want to accept somebody else's? That's why they use these, country agnostic X tokens, right? That's what X means. X means it doesn't belong to any one country.
Yeah, very true. I think we got a lot of comments, and I don't think we're going to be able to get to all of them. We'll be here for like 3 hours or more. You guys got some info about Nostra Vostro, Quant Papa. Nostra Vostro 27 million. There's just a lot of good conversation. Hopefully you guys read it amongst each other and so on. And I hope nobody takes it, like as disrespect that we didn't read all the comments, but we're going to wrap things up. And if anything, I'm going to give one last plug for Mr. Sean, the Crypto Smith. I'll do it one particular way. I'll read this actually real quick. Coochie Boy, Shiba is forever. Shibarium is forever. Burns are forever. And listings on Shibarium are forever. Let that sink in. All right. Thank you for that, Coochie Boy.
Do you think he owns some SHIB?
Yeah, well, I do too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of back and forth with what I'm going to do with my SHIB when it hits new all-time highs. But anyway, let's get into this. So here's a plug for Sean. I'm giving 2 plugs, if you will. If you go to ctnnetwork.net, make sure you create an account. You're going to need to do so because if you want to participate in Wednesday's game show, which official title is called Cryptivia, you're going to want to make sure you have an account for you could participate on your team captain's team to send messages, you name it, and so on, and participate in the game. It's going to be on Wednesday. So instead of the traditional crypto roundtable, those people part of the crypto roundtable will be here. At least I think so. Are you going to be here, Sean, or you don't know?
Yeah, I should be here.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, just, if you want to do the lazy route, you don't want to sign up with your email and so on, you can just sign up through Gmail or Facebook. But anyway, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And then when you go over to ctnnetwork.net, let's say, for instance, you want to check out, Sean the Cryptosmith, where, you can see his particular page right there. You just click on creators. And then from here, you can go scroll down to where he's at. It says channel. You click on that. And there he is in the flesh. And he's doing pretty well. 1.64K subs. His last particular recorded video was about Corium 10 days ago. Corium is building a unique layer 1. But one thing I definitely want to point out is he does a live show, technically speaking, 3 days a week here with us, like right now, right? For Utility Talk Now on Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. On top of that, he's part of the Crypto Roundtable on Wednesdays, same time slot. But on Saturday, he has his very own show. It is referred to as Straight Talk over on his platform. So give him a follow. It's The Space Cryptosmith on YouTube. Check out some of his content. He's got great content. Of course, he talks about MMAI. He had the utility review, I believe, last week and so on. And that particular show of Straight Talk is at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
Yes.
Would you like to elaborate on that just for a bit?
Yeah, sure. I talk about just about anything and everything. Usually it's just about having fun. I try to have some structure, but then I usually get up, caught up in the comments, and you just kind of go for a couple hours that way. So I try to have fun with it and kind of go wherever the comments lead me. So a little bit of news, and then we'll do some MMAI updates and stuff for those that are into that project. And then I have to apologize because I really haven't put out a video. It's been over a week now. I've just been slammed with work and a bunch of other stuff. So I got to really get busy on the video production as well. So there'll be more videos to come.
Well, that's too bad, because according to Brian Dowie, it's this right here, and that is he's going to be really offended that you didn't put out a video. Just like he's offended that I didn't put out, read all his comments. I know he's just joking, but
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, do you see GS's comment? I was going to say something when you said it. You were going to give me 2 plugs, and I said, I don't know how I should take that.
Jeez.
But then I can't say that either because that leads into something else. So I just left it alone. But then I just brought it back up. So
that's horrible.
Yeah, CTN After Dark.
Yes, it's one of those things.
Can't get away from it.
Yeah. So that's gonna wrap it up. I was just gonna give you guys yeah, thanks, Brian. And I'll tell you guys, here's a fist bump dab to all you guys out there. Brian Dowie, GS, all you guys, really appreciate you guys tonight. We had a great turnout. Hopefully you enjoy this type of format. Maybe we'll get something spontaneous like that again. I think it was a hit.
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of conversation, you and me, the audience and so on. I think we did a good job for the most part, getting some of the comments up and so on. But yeah, stay tuned tomorrow, guys. It's just going to be me. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Be out on the lookout for a quant deep dive, right? Shout out to Quant Papa. It's going to be released probably tonight. And then the Bull Run Thesis, Volume 6. Oh, God, Max, you're going to talk about that. Once you're going to pull your head out here, you know what? No one's believing in the Bull Run Thesis. Again, just hear me out. You want to definitely look into that. Key thing is the accumulation period, okay? You definitely want to tune into that, provide you actual data, check it out. I'm still very, very bullish on 2023. I think there's still money to be made. Yes, I get the whole thing of 2024, 2025, big years. Look out for that one for Quant tonight. Look out for the Bull Run Thesis Volume 6 tomorrow morning. And then all the other news I have, I might just go ahead and provide it tomorrow or chop some of that up and do some record tonight. I don't know. It's going to be a busy night for me. But yes, Quant, ISOs, quantum financial system. Let's freaking go. Read a 1, 2, or 3 more. GS, thanks, Max and Sean, for the info. Blackwood, thanks, Max. Thank you, Crypto Smith. Night, everyone.
You got
Brian
it.
Dowie states, later, guys, great show. Kirk, Quant, let's go. And Brian Dowie, utility run starts this year. I'm with you, Brian. That's the way I look at it. So I'll give the last closing comments to Sean, the Crypto Smith. Take it away.
Yeah, it was a great show. It was a lot of good participation. And it makes it fun for everybody. But the content was good, so it was very fortunate that Sobo sent you that just before. And I mean, yeah, you did not give me very much time to prep for it, but it was fine. I just had to watch the video and take a couple notes and kind of see what I process that in my brain for a minute. But yeah, it was fun. I do appreciate being here, of course, and thanks to everybody for making it a good time.
Yes, and a special shout out, of course, to Quant Papa, great content creator, researcher, and so on, and great audience member, Kirk Angel, all you guys. Have a great night. We'll keep you in a bit longer. We'll see you on the next one. Have a blessed night, everybody. Over and out for now.
All right. Good night.